This is your Twilight Imperium Galactic Report. Episode 4, Bigger, Badder, 6 Players. Brought to you by Cardboard Crash Course and sponsored by Panamaniac 3D. Support the Cardboard Crash Course by becoming a YouTube channel member and enjoy special perks like a special after report after today's show. Support our sponsor by visiting the Panamaniac 3D Etsy store with the code CCC10 for 10% off, Twilight Imperium organizers, upgrades, and more. Thank you to all our current members, especially our Cardboard Crash Course professors, Big Al Cappuccino, Father James, Chris Z, Christian N, Avery the Avian, Guys Night Medium, Iron Fist Jordan, Stanford, Pretzel Pone, Furvy, and That Rat. Now, let's meet our players. My name is Ethan, and I'm so excited to be playing the Mahawk Gene Sorcerers today. It's the first faction guide that I ever made on the channel, and I love this faction. I also have 3 very special guests on top of Adam and Armand that you're gonna meet in just a moment. So welcome to Galactic Report 4.
Hi, my name's Isaac, though a few of you may know me better as That Rat. Yep, I'm on a Galactic Report. I will be playing the Empyrean today, and kind of represent the Crash Course professors, but I think I'm also the people's champion a little bit.
Hey everyone, I'm Armand. You may know me from some videos from the Cardboard Crash Course channel, mostly the Galactic Reports. And in previous Galactic Reports, I've said that I don't really like being mean and attacking other players. So today, I decided to play the Deep Rot Scholarate. I will be coexisting with my opponents and giving everyone a little bit of benefits, but also getting benefits myself.
Hello, my name is Nate. You may know me as Panamaniac on Discord, Reddit, and Etsy. I've loved Cardboard Crash Course for a long time. It's cool to finally be here. Today I'm going to be playing the Nazroka Alliance. I'm pretty excited to see what kind of exploration I can cook up, and just happy to see how the game goes.
Okay, I'm Hunter Donaldson. I'm here representing Space Cats Peace Turtles, and I'm going to be playing as the Titans of Ul today.
Pleased to see you back for another Galactic Report. In this 6-player spectacular, I'll be playing the Barony of Letnav. It's my first time playing them, but you know what? There's 6 people here, so there's going to be a lot of enemies to make. Also a lot of friends to make, especially Armand, because he's playing the Deep Rot, so hey, I'm trying to get a lot of tech here. But either way, I think mostly I'm going to be making enemies, because hey, I'm the Barony. I'm just going to beat you down. The Mahawk, you better kneel to your true kings.
So the Deep Rot is an interesting faction. I actually researched 2 tech to begin the game instead of starting with certain tech. So I first researched psychoarchaeology, because I have 2 tech specialty planets right in front of my home system. And then I actually also got radical advancement. This is a faction tech of the Deep Rot Scholarate that will help me to upgrade my techs every status phase. So look forward to seeing that.
So I was given a choice between 2 secret objectives before the game even starts. It was betray a friend and become the gatekeeper. Now, betray a friend is kind of easier than become a gatekeeper with this sort of map setup, because getting to 2 different types of wormholes can be kind of difficult for us. But betray a friend is specifically harder for the Mahawk, because I'm not allowed to collect people's alliance promissory notes. And although I can have people's faction-specific promissory notes and support for the throne, it's really hard to collect alliance promissory notes when you're literally not allowed to. So, I did become a gatekeeper and choose that secret objective. Let's hope that I can get to both types of wormholes, or maybe throw it away for my breakthrough.
For secret objectives, I drew Stake Your Claim and Turn Their Fleets to Dust. Space Cannon seems like it's going to be really tricky to pull off since I don't start with any, but Stake Your Claim seems really easy with Armand in the game playing Deep Rot. If I can just work out a deal for coexistence with him, I can score that super easily.
You have got to be kidding me. My secret objectives are darken the skies and make an example of their world? I just said I didn't want to be mean. Okay, I think I'll just make an example of their world rather than darken the sky, because then I don't have to go to someone's home system and potentially kick them out of the game. We'll go with the bombardment.
My 2 secret objectives are to become a martyr, which is to lose control of a planet in your home system, or control 4 industrial planets. I could try to go for trying to find the silver flame through exploration and, get a point either way with losing control of a planet in my home system with that. But I think I'm going to pitch that because I think that there are more cultural planets around me, and it may not be something I can score quickly, but hopefully eventually I'll be able to make it happen.
So for my initial secret draw, I drew 2 secrets. I drew Strengthen Bonds, and I drew Hoard Raw Materials. If you don't know off the top of your head, Hoard Raw Materials have a combined planet value of 12 resources. And one theme that I want to go ahead and lay down today is that Ethan built the map, and it is the worst slice I've ever played in as Titans. He built me a horrible slice, gave himself a good slice. You can check it on the footage. But my slice was really bad, so there's no way that I can score Hoard Raw Materials. It's just not possible. Even if I would have to take both of my equidistant planets, possibly even Mechatol Rex. I didn't factor that in, but it would just be a lot of stuff to control. So threw that one away. Instead, I'm going to keep Strengthen Bonds. If you don't know what Strengthen Bonds is, it is have another player's promissory note in your play area. I'm playing as Titans. Titans has a really good faction promissory note called Terraforming that I will likely use in order to get Strengthen Bonds. So I already have a plan to score it.
All right, so I got mechanized military and fight with precision. To be honest, I think I'm just gonna can it no matter what. I want my breakthrough as soon as possible, and I actually really want to get Thunder's Edge. So I'm thinking, I'll just stick with the precision because at least I'm a ship-based faction, so I'll just go and maybe kill someone's thing if I keep it. But for the most part, it's probably going away, so I didn't actually really care about this decision.
It's time to reveal the 2 public objectives that will start out the game. First, we have Develop Weaponry. Own 2 unit upgrade technologies. Additionally, we have Engineer a Marvel. Have your flagship or a war sun on the game board.
Well, public objectives were just revealed. I was really hoping to go down the normal tech route, but I think I'm going to have to do a unit tech this round, which is a little unfortunate. Cruiser 2 is not bad for NRA, so I'm probably going to pick that. The one thing that I am going to go for is the trade strategy card this round. I'm going to get a lot of value out of that, I hope, especially with trying to pump out that flagship. We'll see if I make it.
I will now reenact my exact expressions when those were revealed. Ooh. Absolute cinema.
Let's start with the first strategy phase. Now, Hunter is going to try to convince you otherwise, because he's been giving me a hard time about it all morning. And whatever with that guy. But I am the speaker, and it was fair. I rolled off, I was the only one who rolled a 10, and I'll start off as the speaker for this game, which means for the first strategy phase, I'll pick my card first. Alright, as the Mahat, I'm the speaker, so I go first. I'm going to choose the Warfare Strategy card to try to get some value out of this.
All right, as Titans, I'm going to be taking the Politics Strategy card.
As the Nazrok Alliance, I'm going to be taking the Trade Strategy card, hoping to get some good value out of this.
All right, then the Deep Rot Scholar will do what they're known for and grab Technology. All right, I think my best strategy, no pun intended here, is to take Technology. There is an objective to have 2 unit technology upgrades. If I can get enough resources and I can get my breakthrough, then I can get both the infantry upgrade and my space dock upgrade. So I think that's probably going to be what I go for this round.
Little surprised this actually made it to the Empyrean, but I'm going to take leadership, see if I can get some more tokens and get some more frontier tokens explored. Wait, they let me get leadership? I mean, I already get some token generation, but extra 3 tokens, especially with how many good secondaries are out, this could be a pretty good round.
Alright, as the Barony, I am literally eating scraps here, so I think I'm going to try and get as much value out of diplomacy as possible.
And now that we have all our strategy cards picked, it's time for our very first action of the first action phase.
Alright, first turn of the game, I'm going to activate this system here and bring this destroyer with the intent to explore the frontier token with dark energy tap. I'm also going to exhaust my agent Akamar, which allows me to gain a command token when I move a ship into a system that contains no planets. All right. Using Dark Energy Talk, I'll explore, and I got Kalera's ship. Gain 2 command tokens.
2 command tokens? Plus he has leadership? Bro is eating good.
3 command tokens. 3 command tokens. With my agent and the exploration, and I still have leadership. Oh, this is gonna be good. With the 3 command tokens I got in total, I put 2 into strategy, bringing me up to 4, and then put 1 back into my tactics, keeping me at 3.
Alrighty, for my first turn, it's going to be short and sweet. I'm going to move a Dreadnought over to Atlas with one of my guys, and we're going to explore it. Volatile fuel source. If you have at least 1 mech on this planet or remove an infantry, I gain a command token. That seems pretty good. I think I'll be doing that. I'm going to put that command token in my strategy pool. And I am just going off rip, going to spend 5 resources from my home planets to go and put my thing on the expedition. Okay, I know this is a little risky, but I'm just going all out. I'm going to spend my home planets to get my breakthrough, and hopefully, everyone moves out turn 1, right? Then I can use diplomacy, they get no value, and boom, I got all my resources back, and we're Gucci. Alright, so this unlocks my breakthrough, which is Brave Lash Maneuvers. Before I roll die during space combat, I can apply plus X to the results of one of my ship's rolls, where X is the number of ship types I have in combat. Then, during movement, my non-fighter ships' move values are equal to the highest move value among moving ships in the system they started in. So, really cracked. I can pretty much move everything as far as the fastest thing in my fleet.
This is the only breakthrough roll that, if it causes the fracture to come out, could have the Ingress tokens not on a green technology specialty, because Adam has red-blue and the rest of us have a green somewhere in there. Adam is rolling for the fracture. On a 1 or a 10, it's going to appear because he unlocked his breakthrough. So let's see. 3, 2, 1. That is a 7. That is not the fracture coming into play quite yet.
Okay, I really hope nobody pitches their secret objective to the expedition just yet, because mine sucks, and I kind of want to get rid of it, and my breakthrough is very important for my success this round.
So for Titans is my first turn because of what Barony did and choosing to take their breakthrough. I feel like the likelihood of them playing Diplo, their second action, has gone up quite a bit. So I actually have an interesting situation here. If I were to go to Simlore and find an attachment, then I could actually score off of Diplo popping. So this could be actually a very potentially, like for a first action, this is actually quite hot. However, overall, I feel like the likelihood of me drawing that attachment is so low that I don't really care that much. So I actually think I'm going to go to Faunus. So I will send this Saturn engine with a single infantry because they only carry 1, movement 2, and then I will explore Faunus. We'll find what I get. I get a relic fragment. This was, if you want to know, one of my worst options. So I was hoping not to see this. So thank you. Thank you. And after exploring, I'm going to place a sleeper token because I'm very good at the game, so I never forget that.
For my first action, I'm going to activate this system. I'm going to bring a carrier, a mech, and an infantry along with 2 fighters. Against the wisdom of the gods, I will put the mech on Lazo Rex just in case I get a DMZ. So I'll draw for that first. Using my Distant Suns ability, I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to take the Cultural Relic Fragment and discard the Mercenary Outfit. And then I will check the Hazardous Planet with the infantry. I got Expedition. If I have at least 1 mech on this planet, or if I remove an infantry, I can ready it. It's a 0-1. I don't think I'm going to take advantage of that.
As my very first turn, I'm actually going to go ahead and use the Warfare Strategy card. So, for the primary ability of Warfare, I'm going to perform a tactical action in a system without placing a command token, even if that system already has my command token in it. So, I'm going to basically place a command token without actually placing one in Welland, activating that system.
Okay, so Ethan popping Warfare makes sense. I just wasn't thinking about that. Whoops.
I can redistribute my command tokens before and after this action, so I may do it afterwards, but first of all, I'm going to move a carrier and a couple other units out to Welland real quickly. I have moved everything out except for the cruiser, leaving that behind. Hopefully that helps protect my home system from an angry Titans or anything like that. But we'll first explore the industrial token. That is a industrial relic fragment. Actually, kind of not at all what I was hoping for, but that's all right. Additionally, because of warfare, the secondary ability, spend 1 token from your strategy pool to use the production abilities of the units in your home system. That is available for all of the other players.
So turns out I'm going to be the only one to follow with a token from my strategy pool. I'm going to spend 3 resources from my home system to place a destroyer and a mech in my home system.
After doing that, I'm going to use Biostims. You may exhaust this card at the end of your turn to ready one of your planets that has a technology specialty or one of your other technologies. So I'm going to go ahead and ready Wellen immediately. But then, also at the end of my turn, I'm going to go on an expedition. This expedition is going to be this bottom left technology specialty expedition. It's going to be because I can exhaust Wellen for its yellow technology specialty after just readying it with Biostims. This gives me my breakthrough, Bolts of the Air. As an action, I can exhaust this card and purge one of my technologies to gain a relic. Additionally, it's a yellow and green breakthrough, which does help with the yellow tech spec that I just took. Because I gained my breakthrough, we're gonna roll for the fracture. Rolling for the fracture, let's see if I get a 1 or a 10. That is an 8. No fracture so far.
Alrighty, Deep Rot is going to activate this system right outside their home system, and we're going to move a carrier, 2 infantry, and 2 fighters out into here and get these planets. Alright, so I'm going to start by exploring New Terra. Alright, we got another industrial relic fragment. That is 3, so now if we do some deals, someone can get a relic. And then for Tenez, I think I will also do another industrial, trying to get some commodities, potentially. The functioning base. I can gain a commodity, or I may spend a trade good or commodity to draw an action card. I don't have any, but I'll take one right now. Alright, and then I'm not a huge fan of this secret objective, so I think I'm going to discard it for the expedition. So we will go ahead and put a token there. And the Deep Rot will get their breakthrough Vision Area Select. It's an action that I can do to exhaust it to allow each other player to spend 3 trade goods and give me 1 promissory note. Each player that does that may research a non-faction, non-unit upgrade technology that I also gain when it's researched this way. Next, we will roll for the fracture.
Arman is going to roll his special fish-colored blue dice as the Deep Rot, and if he gets a 1 or a 10, the fracture will appear. Let's hope we see it. That is a 4. No fracture so far. I'm starting to get worried it's even going to come up.
Alright, for my second turn, I've got a feeling that diplomacy might get popped this round, so I'm actually going to first take a carrier and 2 infantry over to Lodor to take it. I will then explore the cultural deck and get a cultural relic fragment.
Alright, for my second action here, I'm going to move to these planets off to the side, bringing all of my guys. And we'll first start with the Centauri. Paradise World. This planet's influence is increased by 2. That's pretty
Oh my
sweet.
God.
That's actually insane.
I'm the attachment guy. How are people getting this stuff?
Yo! 5 influence? Paradise World! I mean, I'm just that good.
Centauri's 1/5. Every fiber of my being says don't pick a fight with Barony, but 5 influence. That's juicy.
And then we'll do Grawl. Functioning base, you may gain a commodity or spend 1 trade good or commodity to draw an action card. Unfortunately, I don't have either, so this is a little bit of a fail.
Okay, I'm going, for my second action, I'm going to be activating Semlor. I'm going to send another Saturn engine over here with a single infantry, and we will see what the exploration is going to be. It is the Tomb of Infidia, which is good. I like that. And I will place a sleeper. Thank you very much. So sleepers are these tokens that Titans gets to place after they explore, and later, if I activate this same system that has a sleeper with it, I can exchange it for basically one of 3 options. One of the options is a PDS, which is a faction unit for Titans, which is called the Hell Titan. One is a mech and a infantry, or, and this is very important for this game, I can exchange it for a flagship. for free, and you can bet that I will be doing that eventually. So the attachment that I received is the Tomb of Infidia. There is a relic in the relic deck called the Crown of Infidia. If it comes out, a player may purge the Crown of Infidia in order to gain a point at the end of the status phase. So potentially Simlor could be very relevant in this game. Currently, it's not really relevant at all. But if that relic were to come out, it will be.
For my second action, I'm going to be activating the Entropic Scar. I made a little bit of a deal with Armand. We'll have to see how that pans out in a couple rounds. Just going to be moving a single destroyer over there.
Okay, I'm wheeling and dealing a little bit here with the Nazroka Alliance. I'm going to let them sit on the Entropic Scar and get their faction tech, but I'm going to be able to trade my commodities to trade goods with them, and they're willing to both refill my commodities and flip them with the trade strategy card.
So I know that Armand really wanted that Entropic Scar, but I made some deals with him to try to get my faction tech. 3 green prerequisites would have taken me a little while to get to, and redding a planet every time I explore it is super nice. That's going to be very, very helpful going forward. What's funny is I'd offered him quite a bit, but in the end, he only had me wash 1 trade good, so I'll take that value.
In doing this, I could probably pay some people off for my breakthrough.
First part of that deal is going to be slow washing his commodity that he got from his exploration last turn. Part of a slow wash is that the commodity he got last round he's going to give to me this turn, and then when I play trade, I'm going to be giving it back to him in some other deal making next round.
For my second action, I need some money. So we're actually going to go ahead and travel to Limox. I'm going to be taking a carrier and a couple of infantry, as well as a fighter over to Limox, and I'll explore the industrial deck. It is local fabricators. I can gain a commodity or spend a trade good or commodity to place a mech on my reinforcements on this planet. That would have been awesome if I had one of those, but unfortunately I'm just gaining a single commodity. So with my ship being the only one in this Entropic Scar, at the start of the strategy phase, as well as Nazroka over in his own Entropic Scar, we can actually spend a token from our strategy pool to gain one of our faction technologies. So that's a benefit on top of taking the Limox planet.
Okay, weirdly enough, the Deep Rot is going to use their breakthrough as a stall. I don't think anyone has 3 trade goods to spend, and no one's going to give me their promissory note as well. So we're just going to use it as the action component, and we're going to wait till we have enough resources to tech up. Okay, I know I just got the breakthrough, and now I'm using it to stall, but look. I could probably get it back using MLPAR. It's right there. I'll get it eventually, right? And then I'll be able to use it normally. I just really need that 6 resources to use technology, because if I don't get 2 unit tech upgrades. Sorry.
For my third turn, I'm going to take the Rigel system, bringing over a carrier, 2 infantry, 1 fighter, and my mech. Obviously, I'm going to put the mech on Regal 1, which is the hazardous, and the infantry on the other 2 planets. Let's start out, go in order. We'll do Regal 1 first, which is a hazardous. And I got Expedition. If you have a mech on this planet or move an infantry, you may ready the planet. Well, I have a mech there. Might as well ready it. Next, we'll do Regal 2, which is Abandoned Warehouses. You may gain 2 commodities or convert 2 of your commodities to trade goods. I don't have any commodities right now, but I'll certainly take 2. Last one, Regal 3, is Local Fabricators. I may gain 1 commodity, or may spend 1 trade good or 1 commodity to place 1 mech for your reinforcements on this planet. I've got 2 commodities right now. I think I will. The Imperium mechs are kind of really good. As long as they're next to another player, I can cancel one of their action cards in a bad situation and remove the mech from the board. Finally, the last thing I'll do on my turn is Adam and I are going to exchange 1 commodity each, so we both get a trade good.
For turn 3, I'm going to pop Diplomacy. So the primary ability says I get to choose a system other than Mechatol Rex that contains a planet I control. Each other player places a command token from the reinforcements in that system, then ready up to 2 exhausted planets I control. The secondary also allows people to spend 1 strategy token to unexhaust 2 planets they control. I'll have everyone put one of their tokens with the Centauri and Grawl, and then I will be refreshing Arc Prime and Atlas.
At this point, myself as the Mahakt and every other person at the table is all using the secondary of Diplomacy, readying 2 of their best planets.
Okay, so it's my turn as the Titans player. I'm actually going to try to negotiate a deal Empyrean, one of your promissory notes is called Dark Pact, and that allows me to get an extra trade good every time I trade with Empyrean if I give them my maximum commodity value. If you are open to that, I would trade you Terraforming, which will allow you to take an attachment, basically, that gives you a +1/+1, and then every trait. Earlier, I heard you complaining that you were afraid of Corner of the Market coming out, which would require us all to have 4 planets of 1 trait. This would make it easier for you. Are you interested in that transaction, yes or no?
I would love to do this transaction with you.
Awesome. So I'm going to activate Andira in that case. I will move my Dreadnought and a single infantry there, and I will explore Andira. We'll find out what it is. Oh, I got a cybernetic research facility, which will not be a yellow skip. This time it will just be a +1/+1, improving the value of Andira and honestly making me feel a lot better. And then at the end of my turn, I will do a transaction with Empyrean. While I give them Terraforming, they will give me Dark Pact.
Well, I was pretty bummed out when Titans gave his Terraforming card to Empyrean. I was really hoping to have that for the triple planet trait, so I could have some options for exploring, especially if I could have put that on Thunder's Edge or one of the Fracture planets if they come out. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, for my next action, I'm going to be playing the Trade Strategy card. It is where I gain 3 trade goods, replenish my commodities, and then I can choose any number of other players, and they can replenish their commodities without spending a strategy token. I'm going to be refreshing everybody, and going to get an X-1 from Empyrean at some point in the game because he took the promissory note that I was hoping for. And I'm giving Armand a little bit of extra trade goods because of the deal with the Entropic Scar we made last round. At the end of my turn, I'm going to use my agent, which says at the end of a player's turn, I can exhaust this card to allow a player to explore one of their planets. I'm going to explore Lazuel Rex as a industrial. So because I have a mech on it, I will draw 2 cards, and I will take a Industrial Relic Fragment.
You know, I'm a little bit worried about whether Hunter takes Quan from me or not, but if I take either Garbosia or Primor right now, then that can wait for just a little bit, and maybe I can just grab Quan as a later thing. Alright, as the Mahawk for this action, I'm going to activate the Garbosia system, moving my Dreadnought and its infantry onto that planet, taking the Hazardous Exploration as a Hazardous Relic Fragment. That gets me both the planets of Garbosia and its legendary planet ability, which is Dock and Pix Salvage Yard. You may exhaust this card when you pass to place an action card from the discard pile face up on this card, and then I can purge cards on this card to play them as if they were in my hand. That's a very exciting and could be very game-changing ability. Now at the end of my turn, I'm also going to use Predictive Intelligence to rearrange my command tokens a little bit. I don't actually need 3 of them in fleet at the moment, so having a 2 in strategies in case politics and technology get used before leadership is going to be very helpful.
All right, we are finally going to use technology for the deep rot. I'm going to research a technology, and I'm going to spend 6 resources using Ikatena and Tins to research another one. So we're going to do 2 unit tech upgrades. We're going to get Infantry 2, and because I have the green-yellow synergy, I can get Space Dock 2 as well. Now for the secondary, anyone can spend a token from their strategy pool and 4 resources to research a technology.
Okay, I really, really, really want to get tech this round, but I can't get a point if I do that. So I'm just gonna have to save my resources to get my flagship.
Alright, as the Mahawk, I'm actually going to follow by taking his command token off of the board and using it, and then I'll exhaust my planets, and I'm going to take a technology.
As Ethan is researching a technology, I am also going to be using my agent, Dr. Karina. I will exhaust it and allow Ethan to ignore 1 prerequisite, and if they do, I can place an infantry and coexist on one of his non-home planets. So I will now be coexisting on Lemix with Ethan. My infantry and his can stay on that planet without having any issues, unless someone decides that they want to. This will also give me an ocean card in play and unlock my commander, which states that when another player spends resources to research a technology, they can reduce the cost by 1, but if they do, the Deep Rot gains a commodity or converts one of their commodities to a trade good. So that will be available for Titans and for Nazaroka. All right, so pretty early on in this game, Ethan came to me with a very nice deal. He wanted me to use his agent on him so that he could use his agent on me to remove a token on the system in front of me.
So basically, he uses his agent. He helps me out skipping one of those prerequisites of technology, which does help me get to Fighter 2, one of my 2 unit upgrade techs that I need for the objective. But as I use it, and he starts to coexist with me, I can just go ahead and help him by removing one of his command tokens with Jameer Khan, my agent. So this is a very beneficial relationship going on, and I'm very excited for this relationship to blossom. Although I may have to make a weird decision later on, and I'll explain that to you.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely see it coming, but I think we were both going to get a lot of good stuff out of this deal.
Now, the technology that I, as the Mahakt, got was Fighter 2. I skipped that prerequisite of blue, and I had the prerequisite of green already.
As the Titans player, I'm going to be following tech. I'm going to be using the Deep Rod's commander in order to spend Semlore, which I actually refreshed, just hoping this would happen, in order to gain AI development algorithm.
As the Naz Roka, I will also be following technology, and I will be using the discount provided by Armand's commander to get a reduction in 1 resource. And I will be getting Cruiser 2 by exhausting my starting technology AI development algorithm.
This action, I'm going to place a token in this system to activate it, and I'm going to move my Destroyer 1, 2, mainly to get the Frontier token there, but also to get neighbors with Nalsroka Alliance to pay him 1 trade good as a result of a prior deal. And then I will explore the Frontier token and get Entropic Field. Gain 1 command token and 2 trade goods. I'll take that. At the end of my turn, I will spend 3 trade goods in order to claim the 3 trade good slice of the expedition. I will also be trading 3 of my commodities to 2 of Adam's commodities in one of his trade goods as a 3-for-3 swap. By claiming the 3 trade good expedition slice, I will gain my breakthrough, Void Tether, which is when you activate a system that contains or is adjacent to a unit or planet you control, I may place or move one of my Void Tether tokens onto a border that system shares with another system. Other players do not treat those systems as adjacent to each other unless I allow it. I think right now I won't put any Void Tethers in that side of the board.
Now the Empyrean will roll for the fracture on a 1 or 10. We'll see it come out.
As a 6.
A 6 does not get the fracture. Not quite yet.
Alright, and for my last command token here, I'm going to activate my home system. I'm going to produce my flagship and 2 guys, spending 2 of my trade goods as well as Atlas and Arc Prime.
For this turn, I will be playing Dark Pact, which I got from Empyrean on my previous action, and then we will wash commodities, and we each gain 1 extra because that's what Dark Pact does.
I'm going to be activating this system here, Tiamat and Herculor, and moving my carrier and 2 infantry over to do some explorations. First, I'm going to explore Tiamat, which is a cultural. I got a Gamma Wormhole token into the system. Woohoo! A Gamma Wormhole. Yay! And then I'm going to be exploring Herculor as an industrial. I can gain a commodity or spend a commodity or trade good to get an action card. I will gain the commodity.
All right, Mahakt, I'm going to activate my home system, and we're going to spend some resources to build a few things back at home.
Alrighty, thanks to Ethan, because that token was lifted, I can now activate the MLPAR system, bring my carrier, infantry, and fighters in there, and we're going to explore MLPAR. Alright, so let's remove this token, and we are going to draw a cultural relic fragment. Got a lot of these now. So the legendary ability of MLPAR is called the Acropolis. That allows me to exhaust it at the end of my turn to ready another component that isn't a strategy card. I'm going to use it at the end of my turn now to ready my breakthrough.
In another action from the Empyrean, I'm going to use my action to play Terraform, which will allow me to add +1/+1 to the resource and influence value of a planet and treat it as if it had all planet types. I'm going to do this on Lodor, turning it into a 4/2.
So we are seeing in our first Galactic Report with 6 players that in the very first round, Isaac as the Empyrean is already stalling out leadership so that the rest of us, especially Adam, cannot play this game.
Yeah. And that's not really very cool because most of the time we like to wait till the end of the game to see play like that. And even when you see it at the end of the game, it's not great. You know, stalling. This is a little PSA. Stalling sucks. Don't do it. But especially don't do it round one.
All right, kind of ran out of tokens, and I can't move anything, so I will be passing.
I feel a little bit bad for Adam, but honestly, this kind of happens every single game. Adam ends up making a decision that he just sits there and regrets the entire time. And I want to make this a PSA that just play your cards and have fun with this game. Adam is the type of person that thinks a little bit too hard about his mistakes. Just don't worry about it too much. If you're gonna play Twilight Imperium, especially for the first time, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna regret your decisions, but it's still a great time with friends. These 5 people are amazing, and I appreciate all of them coming for this Galactic report, especially Adam, who's always an amazing person.
For my Titan's turn, I'm going to play politics. I will assign myself the speaker. I will draw 2 action cards, and I will draw 2 agendas and decide what order to place them.
And then for the secondary of politics, where each of us can draw 2 action cards, we're each going to be spending a strategy token, except for Nazroka Alliance. So that is 4 players drawing from the secondary.
Okay, I got Warfare Rider and Fighter Conscription. Fighter Conscription is like whatever, but if I use the Warfare Rider properly, getting a Dreadnought as the Barony is pretty sweet.
Now, Scramble Frequency is a pretty lame action card. I don't know, it can be helpful, but it's just kind of a weird, when something happens, something else happens. It's not my favorite, but I also drew Refit Troops, which isn't like amazing, but turning 2 infantry into 2 mechs is really fun, honestly. I love mechs, and I love the Star Lancers specifically with the Mahakt.
And then at the end of my turn, I will be discarding both of these action cards in order to grab my breakthrough. The action cards that I had in hand were Confounding Legal Text, which is actually pretty good, and then Pirate Fleet, which is just kind of silly. So I'm not really that worried about it, but I will be rolling for my breakthrough now.
With Titans rolling their beautiful pink die, let's see if it's a 1 or a 10 to get the Fracture into play. That is a 4, still no Fracture.
As the Nazroka, I'm going to do something pretty simple. I'm just going to purge one of the relic fragments that I got previously to gain a command token and put it into my tactic pool.
As much as this absolutely, completely pains me to do, because I am a latent gambler, I am going to pass without using my breakthrough. Cue the sad music. However, I am going to transact with the Deep Rot player, and he is going to wash my 3 commodities to turn them into trade goods to be ready for his breakthrough usage. Normally, I don't like just washing commodities to just help me out for absolutely no reason, but this will help him because we'll be working together to get him what he wants on his breakthrough. Additionally, when I pass, I'm going to use Garboja's Dock and Pick Salvage Yard Legendary Planet ability. I can exhaust it and place an action card from the discard pile face up on it. This is actually interesting because Confounding Legal Text and Pirate Fleet are the only ones in the discard pile, and usually Confounding Legal Text is a better card, but only when it's secret. So controversially, I'm actually going to put Pirate Fleet on the card. That can be useful for a future round.
Alrighty, so to start off this round, I will be subsidizing the Empyrean here with 2 trade goods as I activate the component action of my breakthrough once more. So each player may spend 3 trade goods and give me a promissory note, and they get to research a non-faction, non-unit upgrade technology. Any one that they do, I will also.
Stop tacking, stop tacking, stop tacking, stop tacking, stop tacking!
I will be spending 3 trade goods, 2 of which Armand helpfully gave me, and giving him this promissory note in order for both of us to research Gravity Drive. Gravity Drive is a 1 prerequisite blue technology with the text, after you activate a system, apply +1 to the move value of one of your ships during the tactical action.
And as the Mahakt with this breakthrough, I will get Hypermetabolism. So during the status phase, gain 3 command tokens instead of 2. That gives me my 3rd of either green or yellow technology specialty. And I'll also be handing Armand one of my promissory notes.
I'm just going to say for the record that I don't think any of these players have a lot of experience with Deep Rot because they are feeding the fishies really, really bad right now, and that is that's going to be a problem. All right, and I would really try to encourage people to not feed the fishies.
On the Empyrean's turn, I made a deal with Titans, and he's going to pay me 1 trade good to make sure leadership is played.
So with the Empyrean stalling leadership, I'm actually going to have to now pay him the money that I'm making from Dark Pact, which basically means that Dark Pact made me no money this round. However, I do have Strengthened Bonds, and I am trying to score that.
For leadership, the primary ability allows me to gain 3 command tokens, and in addition, I may spend any amount of influence to gain 1 command token for every 3 influence spent. Everyone else may use the secondary to spend any amount of influence to gain 1 command token for every 3 influence spent.
As the Mahact, I'm going to gain a single command token into my tactic pool.
As the Titans, I'm going to spend Faunus for 1 command token that I will place into my tactic pool.
As the Nazroka, I will exhaust Roka and Cresius to get 1 command token, which I'll place into my strategy pool.
All right, as Deep Rot, I'm going to use New Terra, an Ocean, and a Trade Good to get 1 command token into my strategy pool.
In addition, at the end of my turn, I'm going to spend the Dark and Regal 1 to spend 5 influence and claim the last expedition slice. Because I have the last slice, I may place it wherever I wish, and I'm going to place it right next to my home system. And because I've claimed 2 slices on the expedition chart, I get to place 2 infantry on Thunder's Edge.
Let's go, baby! I was doing math like so much, like, okay, how do I, do Armand's like little breakthrough, and then how do I get my flagship? I need to make sure I have 8 resources, and just started looking, and Regal freaking 1, the 0-1 influence was just enough so that I could get both Thunder's Edge and do Armand's breakthrough to get Graph Drive, and still get my flagship out for a point. Cooking round 1.
And since Thunder's Edge is a legendary planet, it comes with a special ability called Jupiter Brain. I may gain my breakthrough when I gain this card if I don't already have it. Since I already have my breakthrough, not that big of a deal, but the other part is you may exhaust this card at the end of your turn to perform an action, which is a very handy ability to have.
All right, and for my final action of this round, I will be activating Elysium and Building.
For my turn, I'm going to use the Nazroka fabrication ability to take a relic fragment and purge it for a command token, which I will place into my tactic pool.
Thanks to the Empyrean giving me Grav Drive, I can actually activate Hope's End now. I can give my Dreadnought a +1 movement through New Terra and Tinna's system.
All right, I think Isaac giving Armand Gravity Drive is honestly a huge mistake because Deep Rot Scalerit is already way too powerful. We should honestly focus on technology that he already has at this point because giving him more and more and more tech is putting him so far in the lead. Just being able to take Hope's End and do all of this weird stuff away from Nazroka is powerful and scary.
All right, so we're going to explore Hope's End here. And we get a core mine. If I have a mech or if I remove an infantry from this planet, I can gain a trade good. I think I like trade goods, so sure. So Hope's End also has a legendary planet ability that I can exhaust this card at the end of my turn to place a mech for my reinforcements on any planet I control or draw an action card. I think I'm going to use Imperial Arms Vault now, and I'm going to choose to draw an action card. All right, for the Deep Rot Scalerit, who have a fairly slow first turn, I was able to get 2 legendary planets and have my breakthrough used twice. I have so much tech. I don't even know what to do with it all. This seems like it's going to be a really good game for me. As part of my deal with Empyrean in them giving me Grav Drive, I also let them know that I would give them their promissory note back, so we're going to be doing that as well.
I appreciate it. As my last action for the Empyrean, I'm going to activate my home system and spending the 4-2 Lodor along with 4 trade goods, I will build my flagship, the Dynamo.
All right, as Titans, I'm going to be passing for my turn. And as I pass, I'm going to exhaust Maxis Central Control, which is the Faunus legendary ability, which will allow me to take control of Archon Vale. I will also explore it, likely to get nothing. Core Mine, nothing happened. Yay. So this is a little interesting thing here, and I actually played it really, really quiet whenever I did the action. So I did not explain this, but I'm telling you, okay, so I can keep it secret. I literally don't want the other players to know. Whenever I use Faunus, I get control of a neutral planet, a planet that's not controlled by anybody. And whenever I do that, I explore it, which means I get to place a sleeper token there. I've deliberately done the one that's near Deep Rot, so that if I need to make some inroads in attacking Deep Rot, maybe if we end up making a deal, I coexist with Deep Rot. I prefer not to. I would actually legitimately like to have the option to be aggressive towards Deep Rot, all right? This is a PSA. Deep Rot is an S tier faction. You gotta do something about it. You can't just play passive. Everybody tries to say that I, Hunter Donaldson, invented boat float, and I did not. In fact, I am here to play aggressive, and I'm leaving my options open.
For my turn, I'm going to activate my home system and produce a flagship and 2 infantry.
I am fully out of tactic tokens, so Deep Rot is going to pass for the round.
For Empyrean's turn, going to keep it nice and simple. I'm also going to pass for the round.
For Nazroka's turn, I will also pass for the round. So that round was fine. Wasn't as great as I was hoping. I was really hoping to draw some better explorations, but some of it just didn't work out. That's what happens when you roll the dice. It was a little unfortunate that some people got some great attachments. One big derp I had was I had 2 relic fragments of green and blue. So did Armand. I should have traded that to him for some trade goods with my Black Market Forgery promissory note, so he could have got a relic. I could have gotten a lot more trade goods and either participated in his breakthrough and gotten an extra tech, or maybe some mechs with my flagship when I built. It is what it is. We'll see how round 2 goes.
So at the beginning of the status phase, the Mahakt, myself, and Nate the Nazroka both have the ability to use our Entropic Scars. We have to spend a token from our strategy pool to gain a faction-specific technology. As the Mahakt, I am going to do this to collect my Crimson Legionnaire faction technology, which is my special infantry that can never die.
As the Nazroka, I'll be getting prefab arcologies, which lets me, after I explore a planet, I can ready that planet.
As the Deep Rot with my Radical Advancement, I am going to replace my Psychoarchaeology tech with the Hydrothermal Mining tech.
Then we're going to go into the first status phase actual scoring. So we're going to start with the Empyrean, who is the first in initiative.
The Empyrean will be scoring Engineer a Marvel and no secret objectives.
Barony will follow suit and be scoring the exact same thing with also no secret objectives.
All right, the Titans of Old will be scoring next. I will score no public objective. I must be doing so bad. But I will score my secret objective, Strengthen Bonds, by having another player's promissory note in my play area. That promissory note is the Empyrean's Pact.
As the Nazroka, I will be scoring Engineer a Marvel with having my flagship on board.
I guess I'm the only one developing weaponry because as the Mahakt, I'm going to score 2 unit upgrade technologies, my Crimson Legionnaire and my Fighter 2s. We'll see if anybody gets to do it, but I'm looking pretty cool right now. Mahakt has no secret objectives, however. How unfortunate.
Alrighty, last but not least, the Deep Rot Scholarate is also going to score Develop Weaponry because we also have 2 unit upgrade technologies. Unfortunately, I did get rid of my secret objective, so I don't even have one to score.
Now that we've scored, let's see what the next public objective is for everyone. It is Make History. Have units in 2 systems that contain legendary planets, Mechatol Rex, or anomalies.
Oh my gosh, dude, I was getting bored of these normal planets. Brethren, it's time to move on to the legendaries.
Now each of us is going to draw a single action card for the status phase, and no one has Neural Motivator technology, so no one gets an extra one. Then we're going to remove all of our tokens from the game board, gain 2 tokens back onto our command sheets, and then we're going to repair any units which aren't actually damaged, and then we'll return all of our strategy cards and get ready for the next strategy phase of round 2. Skipping the agenda phase because the Custodian's token is still on Mechatol Rex.
Okay, so this is my first 6-player Thunder's Edge game. I really underestimated people going for the expedition to get their breakthrough. I thought I was going to get Thunder's Edge for some reason, and I was just going to discard my secret objective and then spend all those resources. Now everyone went for it, and I kind of realized going first, I just blew my load, especially with the first public objective being spending resources for a flagship, so Yeah, I probably could have done that better. Yeah, Hunter's a little mad at me.
All right, as the Titans of Ul, I will be taking leadership for my round 2 strategy card.
As the Nazaroka, I will be taking technology for my round 2 strategy card.
All right, Deep Rot Scholar is going to take Imperial, and we're going to get that extra trade good that's sitting on it. All right, so I already have Make History scored with the anomalies and legendary planets that I control, coexisting or otherwise. So I think taking Imperial is going to be good here because then I can, out the gate, score that. And I burned my secret objective last round, so I can get a new one. And hopefully I can get 3 points this round if everything goes well.
The Empyrean are really big fans of money and want to do some more trading, so we're obviously going to take trade.
Hello, I like money.
Yeah, getting trade is going to be, I think, really, really helpful this round, especially for just piling up some wealth to use for later.
The barony is choosing to take construction. I also get a very nice little trade good.
Okay, so I was pretty split on what to grab, but Ethan did mutter a little bit of a deal of possibly getting the speaker token if I give him something, so I'm just gonna go with construction because I want to build stuff in my home system and finally get over to Industrix.
And finally, for me, the Mahakt, I'm going to be taking politics, so I don't have to pick last next round. And finally, we'll put a couple of trade goods on both diplomacy and warfare and get ready for the second action phase.
All right, for my first action, round 2, of course, I'm going to be taking Mechatol Rex. And in order to take the Custodian's token, I will be exhausting Faunus and Archon Veil that I only got because I got Faunus. Isn't that neat?
All right, my first turn as the Mahakt, I'm actually going to go ahead and activate Quan. I'm going to bring this carrier from home and the mech along with me to explore this cultural relic fragment. That gives me 1 of each relic fragment, which is completely not at all helpful.
Okay, I'm going to activate Primor, and I'm going to move my units over here. And because I have my breakthrough, my carrier will actually get the speed of my destroyer, and I'll bring a guy over, and we'll start exploring that.
Right away going into this round, I got like a bad feeling because Ethan talked the Barony player, Adam, into leaving his influence system and going all the way to Primor. And I'm not sure that actually makes very much sense for Adam. But I got a feeling like we're going to see some more stuff like this as the round goes on.
All right, so we'll explore this, and I get Mercenary Outfit. You may place 1 infantry from your reinforcements on this planet. Sure, why not? I will get Primor's Legendary Planet card, and I'm actually going to immediately use it, exhausting this card at the end of my turn to place up to 2 infantry from my reinforcements on any planet. I'm going to put 2 people on Atlas.
I'm going to keep my turn nice and simple. I'm going to activate this system here, moving my destroyer into it. I'm also going to exhaust my agent Akmar to give me another token, and I'll put that in tactics. And then I'll explore this frontier token using Dark Energy Tap. I get an unknown relic fragment. Not bad, not bad. I've got 1 already. And with that movement, I'm now neighbors with Ethan, which unlocks my commander, Zhuanghe the Archivist. After another player moves ships into a system that contains 1 of my command tokens, I may return that token to my reinforcements.
For my first turn of the second round, I'm going to play the technology strategy card to research 2 technologies. The first one I'm going to get is Space Dock 2 to get my second unit tech upgrade. For my second technology, I'm going to get Integrated Economy. I'm going to ignore a prerequisite thanks to Armand's commander by giving him my Black Market Forgery promissory note in exchange for him putting a person into coexistence on one of my planets. Alright, so now I got Integrated Economy that lets me produce after I take planets, which combined with my prefab archaeology, where I can explore planets and ready them, is going to make a great machine to get some planets readied and then to spend them for building stuff. I think now we're really cooking.
All right, Deep Rot Scholar, I'm going to use a strategy token as well as using Hope's End and an Ocean to pay the 4 resources necessary to research Sling Relay.
Viren will also pay a strategy token, and I'll also exhaust Lodor to research my unique faction tech, Etherstream. All right, so I got Etherstream. Now, to explain it a little bit, Etherstream is one of Empyrean's faction technologies, and honestly, it's incredibly fun. What it allows me to do is it allows me, as long as the system I'm going to is adjacent to an anomaly, I can apply +1 move to all of my ships during that movement. But here's the cool thing. I can also do that to other players' ships. So it's innately another bargaining tool I can use to kind of get some other things from players, especially if they're going to need it in the future.
As the Barony, I will use my home system that has 4 resources to research Carrier 2s.
And Mahakt, I'm going to spend a token for my strategy pool and reduce the cost of the amount of resources I have to spend due to the Deep Rot's commander, giving him either a commodity or a transfer from a commodity to a trade good. Doing this, I'm going to exhaust Wellen and Quan in order to get X-89 Bacterial Weapon. This lets me double the hits produced by my unit's bombardment and ground combat rolls, and I exhaust each planet I use bombardment against.
Titans is going to also follow technology, and I will use AI development algorithm in order to research Saturn Engine 2, my faction technology.
At the end of my turn, I'm going to use my agent to explore Lazul Rex. I have a mech on it, so I get to choose 2 cards. I'm going to choose to explore as a cultural. I can get either a mercenary outfit to place an infantry down, or get a cultural relic fragment. I think that I'll take the fragment. And then by exploring it, I'll use my prefab arcology's technology to also ready it, since I just spent it for technology.
Okay, Deep Rot Scholar, first thing we're going to do this round is use the Imperial Strategy card. I'm going to immediately score a public objective if I fulfill its requirements. I have the requirements for Make History, so I will score it. Next, I gain a victory point if I control Mechatol Rex. In this instance, Titans of Ul has it, so I do not get that point. Otherwise, I draw a secret objective. So I will be doing so. Okay, so the secret I drew was Defy Space and Time, which means I need to have units in the wormhole nexus. Now, thankfully, there is a gamma wormhole already out. It's gonna be tough to get to. We'll have to see how this pans out. Finally, everyone can go around and do the secondary ability, which is to spend a token from their strategy pool to also draw a secret objective.
It looks like everybody at the table is drawing a secret objective, so that's 6 in total. So I have Fighter 2, and I just drew Control the Region secret objective. This is actually going to be pretty easy, I think, and I hope I unlock my hero fairly quickly, because my hero can come in very useful.
Alright, the secret objective I pulled was to be the last person to pass in the round. This would have been really nice last round, because I was the last, so hopefully I can make it happen again. We'll have to see how it goes.
Mechanized production. Mechanized production. I just threw that away. What is this, like the second or third game this has happened? This literally happens every time. What a waste. Just a complete waste.
Okay, and for the Titan second action, I'm going to play Leadership. I'm just going to be gaining 3 command tokens, all in my tactic pool. And at the end of my turn, I'm going to use the Galactic Council legendary Mechatol Rex ability to exhaust this card in order to discard my secret and grab a new one.
As a Nazroka, I'm going to be spending 5 influence from planets plus a trade good to get 2 command tokens.
As the Deep Rot, I'm going to be using the 2 influence from Emilpar and one of my Ocean cards to get a single command token.
The Empyrean will be spending both Regal 1 and Regal 2 to get 1 command token.
I got a nice juicy 6 influence in this system right here, so I'm going to use all of it to get a tactic token and to get a strategy token.
Juicy. And with 3 influence for the Mahakt, I'm just going to get a single token into my strategy pool. Alright, a pretty simple turn as the Mahakt. I'm going to use the action card Refit Troops. As an action, I choose 1 or 2 of my infantry on the game board and replace each of those with mechs. So I'm actually going to choose both of these infantry on Limox here. I'm then also going to use both Predictive Intelligence and Biostims at the end of my turn, redistributing my command tokens to fix a little bit of my fleet pool, taking it down to 1, and Biostims to ready Wellen.
I'm going to pop construction, and I'll first start by producing in my home system, and then I will put a structure on a planet, which will be a space dock on Atlas. Overall, I built a destroyer, a carrier, and 2 infantry. Would anyone like to do the secondary of construction?
Empyrean will spend his token from their strategy pool to place a dock on Thunder's Edge.
Nazroka will also be spending a strategy token to place a space dock on Lazul Rex.
Deep Rot will spend a strategy token to put a PDS on Emilpar.
And then I, as the Mahakt, will be also doing it, placing a space dock on Garbosia, and I'm going to be using my agent in order to take Adam's token off of Primor's system instead of spending one from my strategy pool. So I don't really know why I did this. I used my agent on Adam's construction secondary because it was pretty much the last opportunity I had to use my agent, considering I missed out on the previous strategy cards. But that leaves my home system open, and I'm gonna have to figure out a deal quickly with Adam in order for him not to attack me in my home system. Uh-oh.
As the Empyrean's turn, I'm going to activate the system with Thunder's Edge to produce a carrier and 4 fighters using Thunder's Edge. And now at the end of the tactical action, since there's a ship there, I may explore the Frontier token. I get, from the Frontier deck, the Gamma Relay. Place a Gamma Wormhole token in this system, then purge this card.
Oh, okay. That's another Gamma Wormhole closer to me. So I can get in there, potentially.
I'm going to be activating Malice through my Gamma Wormhole token. I'm going to be taking a carrier and an infantry from the Herculor team-up system to go there. I was a little bit bummed out when Empyrean got that Gamma Wormhole. I wasn't planning to go to Malice quite yet, but I need to make sure I beat him to it.
Okay, never mind. Now anyone can get in there, and it's going to be tough to try to stay there for the turn. Or at least be there during the status phase. Okay.
By going through the Gamma Wormhole token and entering the Nexus, we flip the tile over, and now it has Alpha and Beta wormholes in addition to the Gamma it already had. I will now use that infantry to explore this cultural. I got Freelancers. I can produce 1 unit in the system. I can spend Influence as if it were resources to produce this unit. With that Freelancers exploration card, I will produce a mech by spending Malice, which I just readied thanks to exploring it. Getting the Freelancers from exploration was pretty nice though, because it gets me 1 mech closer to unlocking my commander. At the end of my turn, I will also be exhausting the Malice legendary ability, which says I can exhaust this card at the end of my turn to gain 2 trade goods, or convert all my commodities to trade goods. I don't have any commodities, so I'm just going to gain 2 trade goods. In addition, I'm making a deal with the Titans player. We have a lot of systems undefended next to each other. We're going to swap alliances, as well as the promise of a trade good to me in the future.
Alright, so as of the NRA's last turn, I was left with their promissory note and 2 industrial relic fragments. So I'm going to go ahead for my action, use Black Market Forgery to purge these 2 cultural relic fragments and get myself a relic. Alright, we got Metallic Void Shielding. Each time hits are produced against 1 or more of my non-fighter ships, one of those ships may use sustained damage as if it had that ability. Metallic Void Shielding is I'll take the defense. And then at the end of my turn, I'm going to use Hope's End, and we are going to... You know what? Action cards are cool. I like action cards. I'm going to take an action card.
Nice.
I have a Strategize, I have a Direct Hit, I have a Skilled Retreat, and I have Brilliance, which I could use to give Nazroka their breakthrough, and maybe the Fracture will even come into play.
I'm going to activate the Watchtower, 1 Saturn Engine 2 and 1 fighter, and that lets me take control of the Watchtower, which is a space station. Space stations allow me to trade with other players who have space stations. Sadly, there is no such player. However, it also allows me to increase my commodity value by 1, bringing me up to a grand total of 3.
For my action as Mahakt, I'm going to activate my home system to protect it and build up there.
Alright, so in exchange for Ethan popping politics and giving me the speaker, he gratefully also got my token off of Primor. I'm going to move over to Industrix, moving my guys, and then settling on over there.
I mean, I'm glad he says he's grateful, but I'm the one getting more out of this, so whatever.
So I said Ethan graciously, took my token off, but between you and me, I just didn't want to break it to the guy that's going to get his ass kicked down on Primor. Ethan's coming in. He slid me a couple of trade goods, so we're good, I got the speaker token, some trade goods. We'll just tell that guy's family, hey, he fought an honorable fight, it's totally worth it.
Alright, so we will explore Industrix, which is local fabricators. I may gain a commodity, or I may spend one trade good or a commodity to place a mech from my reinforcements on this planet. I will spend a trade good to get a mech on this planet. And now I am the proud owner of Industrix, which says you may exhaust this card when you pass to place one ship that matches a unit upgrade tech you own from your reinforcements into a system that contains your ships.
So, on this turn, the Empyrean is going to pop trade. I've made deals with nearly everybody at the table, so everybody, except Barony, is going to be getting a refresh. In total, I will wash Ethan to get a blue fragment from him. I will refresh Hunter and trade with him so that we both gain the extra trade good from my Dark Pact. I will wash Nate and Armand with the condition that they pass me one of those trade goods back. And unfortunately, I was unable to come to a deal with Adam.
We don't make deals around here.
10 trade goods, a relic fragment, getting me a relic. We're making some progress here. Probably gonna pop that relic next round.
For my next action as NRA, I will be activating the Cormon system and moving some guys from here to there. I'm only going to be moving a carrier and a mech in the fear that the gravity rift might smack me on the way out. I'll be using that mech to explore Cormon, and with my Distant Suns ability, I gotta draw 2 exploration cards for this hazardous planet. I drew a hazardous fragment and a warfare research facility. I think I'll keep this warfare research facility. I'm glad that I finally found a good attachment. Hopefully it's helpful for later objectives. I do wish that it was a bit more helpful since a red skip isn't as great as something like a +2 resources, but hey, we're starting to make some attachment game happen.
All right, Deep Rot, we're going to activate our Sling Relay. We're going to exhaust it, and I'm going to spend basically all my planets and a trade good to produce my flagship in my home system.
As Titans for my 4th action, I'm going to activate Faunos, and I'm going to get rid of my Sleeper token and replace it with a Hell Titan, and I'm going to spend 1 planet I'm going to spend Indira in order to build a mech. So there will be 1 PDS, 1 mech right here, no ships.
All right, following up on that deal where Adam just got off Primor in order for stuff to happen, I'm going to go ahead and use politics here to choose a player other than the speaker, and I'm actually going to take the speaker from Hunter and give it to Adam instead of myself.
So I feel like I'm learning a lot about Ethan in this game. And one thing I'm learning is last round he said he would not wash someone for free. When in fact it wasn't really for free, it was so that Ethan would have trade goods in order to follow the Deep Rot breakthrough and get some technology. And now we've got Ethan using his agent on Adam, on Barony, and agreeing to some sort of speaker deal without there being really an understanding of like what's kind of good in this for Barony, basically. Barony is going to kind of be like a sort of speaker dummy so that Ethan can have a better speaker position for really the rest of the game. I mean, honestly, this will kind of set Ethan up for the rest of it.
I'm also going to draw 2 action cards and look at the agenda deck, but each of the other players does get to spend a token to draw 2 action cards. I put Minister of Antiquities on the top. If I take Mechatol Rex this round, then that relic is pretty much mine. If I don't, then we'll have to figure it out, and maybe somebody else will draw the relic. We'll see in the agenda phase. Everyone is following the secondary except for Hunter.
Okay, now we're talking. I just drew Veto and Public Disgrace. Those are good action cards.
All right, so for my turn, I'm going to activate this Nebula, and I'm going to move in my Dreadnought.
All right. With the deal I made last round, I now have 3 fragments of a type. I'm going to purge all 3 and gain myself a relic.
Oh boy, what do we got? Can we get like a book? I'd even take like Dynamis Core to get some more money.
Stellar Converter. Son of a bitch! So, as an action, I may choose 1 non-home, non-legendary planet other than Mechatol Rex in a system that is adjacent to 1 or more of your units that have bombardment. Destroy all units on that planet and purge its attachments and its planet card. Then I place the destroyed planet token on that planet and purge this card.
Okay, I mean, that's an interesting relic, and I love seeing the destruction of a planet, but Isaac doesn't have a single unit with bombardment anywhere on the board, so I guess he'll have to tech into it.
As the Nazroka, I'm going to use my Fabrication faction ability, and I'm going to purge this Industrial Relic Fragment for a command token.
Alright, so to start off, I'm going to subsidize Ethan with 2 trade goods, and I'm going to activate my breakthrough. So I'm going to exhaust it. Everyone can spend 3 trade goods and give me a promissory note, and if they do, they research a non-faction, non-unit upgrade tech that I also get.
Some of you may have noticed my fleet may have just changed a little bit. I just cleaned something up because I miscalculated my fleet supply before. So all of the math was fixed, don't worry about it. I put too many ships in there thinking I had a larger fleet than I did. Honestly, there's a lot of pieces and a lot that goes into these galactic reports, so I was just a little bit confused. But forgive me. I hope we've all made mistakes in the past and you can relate.
At the end of last round, I had used an MLPAR to ready my agent, which I had forgot to say, but we're making it clear now. I'm going to subsidize Ethan by giving him 2 trade goods, and I'm going to activate my breakthrough. I already know Adam is going to do this, so I'm going to exhaust my agent to allow him to ignore a prerequisite and coexist on a planet with him.
I will be following Armand's breakthrough as the Empyrean. I'm going to spend 3 trade goods and give him a promissory note, and I'll be researching hypermetabolism. Should be noted, he already has hypermetabolism, so he doesn't get much from this.
I will be getting AI development algorithm off of Armand's breakthrough, and I will be giving him my alliance.
All right, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Yes, the rumors are true. I got AI development algorithm. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means I can skip yellow. And you know what yellow skip means. That means we're making War Sons.
Mahakt, I'm going to be spending the 1 trade good, and I'll be getting integrated economy.
I'll also be doing the Deep Rot Breakthrough and getting Scaling Drone Network, and in return for getting a tech that Armand doesn't have, he'll be returning the promissory note back.
And for my next action as Titans, I'll be activating Archon Veil. I will remove my sleeper token in order to place a Hell Titan, and I will use production on the Hell Titan to spend Elysium to place a Dreadnought in the system.
So I guess the theme for me this game is that I am going to get my sleeper tokens all over the place in weird, hard to reach places, and then redeem them for Hell Titans and ships just all around. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and to be honest, I love it. I think it's great.
As Mahakt, I'm going to activate the Primor system, moving a carrier and a mech over to it. There's nothing to take to the sky, so I'm going to land the mech on the Primor planet, and I'll fight. We have no immediate action cards to play, so we're gonna fight with the single mech versus the single infantry.
Come on, infantry. Oh.
There we go, taking out Adam's infantry, and I'll take control of the Primor planet. Because I've taken control of Primor, by winning a combat, I'm also going to gain one of Barony's command tokens into my fleet pool. This makes it so as the Mahakt, I'm able to take advantage of his alliance ability from his commander. This is in place of me not being able to actually take the alliance promissory note card. Now, he doesn't have his commander unlocked right now, but as soon as he gets 5 or more ships in a single system, I'll be able to take advantage of that alongside him.
All right, so I'm going to pass the turn, and I'm going to use Industrix. So again, I am exhausting this card when I pass to place a ship that matches a unit upgrade tech that I own for my reinforcements into a system that contains one of my ships. Currently, my fleet is actually only 3, and I really don't want to put my carrier over in the nebula, so I'm just going to put it right here on Industrix.
All right, Armand. I think you're getting a little too comfortable on Emilpar there and Hopezen. I think we got to take one of these legendary planets from you. So I'm going to activate the Emilpar system and bring some boys to have a little fight with you. All right, Armand. I don't like that I have to do this, but I think you're getting a little too spread thin, and I think I need to take some stuff from you.
Okay, come on. I've only been nice to everyone. Sure, I'm getting a lot of, value off of it, but, please don't take my stuff. I actually don't even have that much. I'm kind of rich in trade goods, which is great, but this next round might be a little bit difficult.
Sorry, buddy.
I'll bring my flagship, which I will gravity drive and ether stream to have it have 3 movements.
pick up an infantry, a fighter, and then a mech. And then I will also bring this carrier and this fighter. So in total, 2 fighters, a carrier, a flagship, and a mech and an infantry.
Alright, so we are going to do a space cannon defense here. Hits on 6, so that is a miss.
All right. No anti-fighter barrage between us.
Alrighty, I'm going to roll for the carrier and the 2 fighters, which all hit on 9s. So that'll be 1 hit.
All right. I'm going to re-roll for my carrier and my 2 fighters first, also hitting on 9s. That is 2 hits. I'm now going to roll for the dynamo, which hits on 5s. 2 more hits. That is 4 hits total. I'm going to be landing the mech and the infantry. If you would like to take a PDS shot, now's the time.
We sure will. It's going to hit on 6 again. That'll be a hit.
On the mech. Are you going to force coexistence, or are we going to fight?
All right, yeah, no, I'll take that deal then. I will go ahead and coexist with you on here.
All right. I'm hoping it's a really peaceful stay while I'm here.
So going into this round, I had this plan of using Faunus in order to take control of one of Deep Rot's planets in order to explore it and then put a sleeper token there. It's kind of a confluence of various mechanics in a way that's really satisfying to be able to find like an angle on it. And the idea was that I would use that in order to be a check on Deep Rot Scholaret, who generally in games that I've seen and played in has kind of run away with things. Now it feels a little more like we are grave robbing. Now that Empyrean is also kind of thinking the same thing. So very, very sorry, Deep Rot, but this is how it's got to be.
All right. After I take Emelpar, I'm going to use my breakthrough and place a Void Tether token on this border, so it's a little harder for Armand to come back and take it.
For my next turn, I'm going to be activating the Cresius and Lazor Rex system. I'll use Scanling Drone Network to explore this hazardous planet. I'll get a hazardous relic fragment, and then I'll be producing. Alright, I'm going to be producing a cruiser, 2 mechs, and 2 fighters in this system by spending Cormond, Lazar Rex, and an exhausting AI development algorithm for a discount of 2, as well as spending a trade good. By placing that mech, I now have mechs in 3 systems, which unlocks my commander. The commander says, after you gain control of a planet that was controlled by another player, I may explore that planet. Because I can ready them with prefab arcologies and also produce on them with integrated kami, my super tech synergy is now at its maximum potential. Let's hope we can make some stuff go forward.
This is the Deep Rot. We're going to play the Brilliance action card. I would like to ready a planet, but I don't really have a use for it. Although getting the Fracture into play could be cool. So we're going to give Nazroka their breakthrough. All right, so I talked to Nate playing the Nazroka Alliance, and he doesn't really want to pay me for me to give him his breakthrough with Brilliance. I guess he doesn't need it all that much. But I think I need to draw people's attention to the potential Fracture rather than the Wormhole Nexus. It'll at least make it slightly less contested. Maybe?
Alright, thank you, Armand. I now have the breakthrough Absolute Synergy. It has a green-blue synergy and says, when you have 4 mechs in the same system, you may return 3 of those mechs to your reinforcements to flip this card and place it on top of your mech card, creating a super mech. I guess maybe Armand is hoping for the Fracture. Not quite sure. Guess we'll see what happens. I don't think it's likely, but we'll roll a die.
Now that Nazroga has gained their breakthrough, we're going to roll for the Fracture. And that is a 1, bringing the Fracture into play.
With the Fracture coming in due to the Nazroka breakthrough, I'll be placing a Ingress token on Thunder's Edge, as well as on various planets that have green and blue technology skips.
All right, and for my final, it's not really an action, but whenever I pass, I'm going to use Foundness. And I just want to take a little bit of time to say that whenever I was shown this map, I dreamed of this moment that we're experiencing right now, which is that because I was able to make the trade with Nazroka, I get to use Maxis in order to take control of a planet that does not have any units on it. Whenever I do, I explore that planet because of Nazroka's alliance. I get an industrial fragment, and because I explored, I get a sleeper token there. Never done that before, always wanted to. But I've passed. Bye-bye.
For my action, I'm going to play Archaeological Expedition, reveal the top 3 cards of an exploration deck that matches a planet I control. I'll gain any relic fragments that I reveal and discard the rest. I'm actually going to go for Lemox. Revealing those 3, none of them are the remaining relic fragments. Very unfortunate.
All right, Imperium is going to keep things simple. I'm going to activate my home system and just build it home.
For the Nazroka, I think I'm done with this round, so I am going to pass. I could have purged another relic fragment to pass and stall for a little bit, then maybe use that command token to stall a little bit longer. We're getting kind of close to people being all passed out, but I just don't know how long everybody else is going to be around. So I think I'm going to wait for another round to prove endurance.
I'm going to use an action card, Ghost Ship. I'm going to place a destroyer for my reinforcements in a non-home system that contains a wormhole but does not contain any other player's ships. I would do it here, but there's a gravity rift, so I'm just going to do it in Atlas.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Shots fired.
Okay, I can use the Ghost Ship here in that beta wormhole to get into the wormhole nexus now, without having to go through that gravity rift, which is potentially scary, especially with my flagship that I don't want to lose, because I need it for the point.
Okay, this is a little annoying, not gonna lie. Now I have to go and spend a token to get rid of that dude. I guess I can produce in it, but like, this must be for some sort of secret objective, and it's just really annoying.
All right, for my final command token from my tactic pool, I'm gonna activate Lemox, breaking our coexistence, and I'll attack Arman with my mech. Just like my last fight, it's gonna be a mech versus an infantry. So rolling for my mech, that does not hit.
My infantry hits on 7s, because they are infantry 2, so that is a hit.
Rolling again. My mech does hit.
And my infantry does not.
All right, Mahakt wins this combat.
If I roll a 6 or higher, the infantry is going to return to my faction sheet, and I can get it later on. I will not.
Killing his infantry, I do also gain his alliance ability because I gained a token to my fleet pool, and that commander is unlocked. So I'll be able to use that every time somebody researches a tech. They'll have his choice and mine as well. That also does unlock my commander, which unlocks with having 2 other factions' command tokens in my fleet pool. This is Ilna Viroset. During my tactical actions, I can activate systems that contain my command tokens, and if I do, I return both command tokens to my reinforcements and end my turn, essentially allowing me to break some of the fundamental rules of the game.
All right, I feel like I'm in a pretty good position, all things considered, so I'm going to save my last tactic token, and I'm going to pass for the round.
Deep Route, we're going to activate our home system, and I think I'm just going to produce there for the next round. I chickened out. I could probably win the fight in the Wormhole Nexus and stay there for the turn, but Nate's only been nice to me, and it feels pretty bad trying to boot him out of there without giving him a heads up.
And as Mahakt, I'm going to play the action card Pirate Fleet, spending 3 resources to place a neutral carrier, neutral cruiser, neutral destroyer, and 2 neutral fighters in a non-home system that contains no neutral ships. And that is going to be a little bit of protection at this beta wormhole here.
Alright, with that, Deep Rot is going to pass.
And for my final action of the round, I'm going to play Vaults of the Air. As an action, I'm going to exhaust it and purge one of my technologies, which is going to be Biostims, in order to gain a relic. That relic is the Codex. Oh my gosh. Purge this card to take up to 3 action cards of your choice from the action card discard pile. That'll come in handy.
Of course, Ethan draws the Codex after Metallic Void Shielding and Stellar Converter come out.
So I get Stellar Converter, and he gets the Codex. He's also got Garbosia too, so.
Okay, I got Veto and Public Disgrace. Those are still good cards. They could just fall in the hands of Ethan, which Ethan's brutal. He is the Mahawk, so I have to be extra careful when I use them because he could be getting them back.
Yeah, the game's definitely not rigged, Ethan.
After that use of Vaults of the Air, I'll go ahead and pass. At the beginning of the status phase, myself and the Nazroka Alliance will be able to take advantage of the Entropic Scars if we'd like. I am going to get my genetic recombination ability in order to affect the agenda phase a little bit. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's a great technology, but I do want to see how it plays out when we do an agenda with the Hidden Agenda Galactic event.
As a Nazroka, I will not be getting my second faction technology with the entropic score.
Right, so at the start of the status phase, the Deep Rot is going to use Radical Advancement to return Scanlink drone network and get predictive intelligence. And then I'm also going to get 3 trade goods from my Ocean Guards.
So I will be scoring Make History. I can make history at Mechatol Rex, the Watchtower, and technically Faunus, but I only need 2 of those 3, bringing me up to 3 points. Titans will score no secret objectives.
Mahakt will score Make History in both Limox as well as Primor, bringing me up to 2 points, and I will score no secret objectives.
I'll continue the trend of making history as I have Industrex and I am in this nebula.
All right, as the Empyrean, I am also going to make history, as I am on Thunder's Edge. I have my home system, which is a anomaly, and I'm also on Emilpar.
As the Nazroka, I will also be scoring Make History. I guess it's not as fancy of history now that so many people have made it already, but hey, we're here too.
All right, Deep Rot is going to score Engineer a Marvel since we have our flagship finally.
Revealing the next public objective, we have Amass Wealth. Spend 3 influence, 3 resources, and 3 trade goods. We're going to clean up the rest of the status phase, and we'll see you in the first agenda phase.
The action card I drew in the status phase was Pirate Contract. It has a component action which could be helpful for stalling to hopefully let me pass next status phase. So I think it was the right call to not purge that Relic Fragment quite yet.
I just want to say that the 5 of you being part of this Galactic Report, when we're watching this back, I really, really appreciate it. It was an insane amount of effort getting you here playing this game. Somebody flew in, somebody drove in from 6 hours away. It was a big ordeal, so thank you very much for being a part of the Cardboard Crash Course. I couldn't thank you more. All right, ready for the first agenda phase? We're all gonna sit here and stare at you very awkwardly and silently because we are playing with Hidden Agenda. I really shouldn't even be talking right now, but whatever. Hidden Agenda is a galactic event that we've used in the past 2 Galactic Reports, and we're gonna keep using it now. So instead of going around the table and all writing down all of our votes while we look at the agenda, we're just going to write them down in secret and pass them to Adam, the speaker, after they're read out. It's honestly a great way to speed up the agenda phase, and I really personally like it. I think we're all pretty much on board. So, Adam, go ahead and read off the first agenda, and then we'll vote on it. Second agenda. Let's go ahead and talk about any rules questions we may have, but any sort of strategy or outcomes, we will not say anything to each other about. It'll be all in secret. Go ahead.
Alrighty, so we will start with the first one. This seems very easy. Minister of Antiquities. Directive. Elect a player. The elected player gains 1 relic. I'm going to play a Warfare Rider, which says, after an agenda is revealed, I cannot vote on this agenda, predict aloud the outcome of it. If my prediction is correct, I get a Dreadnought from my reinforcements in a system that contains 1 or more of my ships. I am going to say Hunter. Alright, so I have tallied all of the votes, and we'll just go around in a circle. I'll just say 0, 0, 0, 0, 12 for himself.
Incredible.
The relic I received is Neuraloop. When a public objective is revealed, you may purge one of your relics to discard that objective and replace it with a random objective from any objective deck. That objective is a public objective, even if it is a secret objective.
Neuraloop! Hey! I can actually use Stellar Converter for something. Alright, let's do this. Let's roll with it.
Okay, so we're going to look at the next one. Search Warrant. Law. Elect player. The elected player gains this card and draws 2 secret objectives. The owner of this card plays with their secret objectives revealed. Okay.
After a trade... Okay, sorry. I will do Trade Rider. After an agenda is revealed, I predict an outcome. If my prediction is correct, I'm going to gain 5 trade goods. I do think that Hunter is going to be the outcome of this agenda. I'm also going to play Genetic Recombination on Hunter as well. You must cast at least one vote for an outcome of my choice being yourself, or remove a token from your fleet pool and return it to your reinforcements.
All right, so maybe unsurprisingly or surprisingly, Hunter got 1 vote. Next, we have 1 vote for Armand. Then we have 8 votes for Ethan. And then we have a total of 19 votes for myself. So I will be getting 2 secret objectives, and I will have to show everyone my objectives.
What the heck? What happened?
Freaky.
Okay, so I just drew Adapt New Strategies, Status Phase, Own 2 Faction Techs. I currently don't own either of mine, and I probably won't own one of them. Threaten enemies, have 1 or more ships in a system that is adjacent to another player's home system. Okay, that seems a little more attainable, although it's not as good when people know about it. And what I had was Fight with Precision to destroy the last of a player's fighters in the active system during the anti-fighter barrage step. And then I also had Mechanize the military, have 1 mech on each of 4 planets. I'm not a fan of a lot of these, I'm not gonna lie. And I have to get rid of 1 because I can only have 3. It might be Mechanized military. I just hate that one. So I'm going to get rid of that.
Based on looks, I was pretty sure that Hunter was not going to vote for himself, the full 20 votes that he had when Ethan forced him to vote at least 1 for himself. I think it was the right call to vote for Adam, getting some secret objectives over on that side of the table. Maybe that helps him out. A couple of them could have been helpful for me, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay. So I'm a bit split, right? Like, I have 1 token in each of my pools. And I'm getting a little scared of Empyrean, although, I'm the Barony. They should be scared of me. And I'm now split. There is an opening on Mechatol. So are all my plans getting thrown out the window? I guess we'll just have to see. I am speaker next round, so I do get first choice. All right, decisions. I got speaker last round, so I get first choice. And I mean, there's a lot of good options. I will say Mechatol is pretty open right now, so I got something just staring right at me, and I think it's a no-brainer. You guys are all thinking it is technology. We go in tech, baby. We go in tech. Psych! You think I was gonna grab Imperial off that last confession? Nah. Tech for life, baby! Never a doubt in my mind.
Bro. He really, I want to make it clear, he hyped us up for this. He let us know. He wanted our reactions.
Listen, Adam, I respect you and I love you, but you did just hand me Imperial.
Well, I know there's no reaction.
I'm just writing notes.
We're gonna cut to a confession by Hunter in 3, 2.
As the Mahakt, then, I guess I'll take Imperial, because that's, of course I will.
All right, well, I have no choice but to take politics.
As the NRA, I'll be taking leadership. I took leadership. It'll hopefully let me get some tokens so I don't have to keep trashing all my relic fragments to keep getting tokens. I've been feeling kind of starved. Plus, if I can stall it out somehow and other people pass, then maybe I can get my secret objective, which is to be the last person to pass in the game round. Wish me luck.
I think the Deep Rot is going to take Warfare.
Right. As the Empyrean, boy, I love money. So we're gonna take trade.
And we'll put 2 trade goods on the missing ones, and we'll see you in the action phase. I've called Armand here to reminisce over every other game we've played of Twilight Imperium with Adam, because the 3 other people we invited were not ready for the hijinks that he gets up to.
He had a whole conversation with Hunter off of camera about like, oh man, what he should do. Okay, we should take like this strategy and like kind of do all this. And I mean, you saw he was like about to take Imperial, and then he just switches to tech like out of nowhere.
We love Adam, but he is a wild card.
As the NRA, I'm going to activate Tiamat and Herculor and move this carrier out of Malice. At the start of the tactical action, I'm going to use Scaling Drone Network to explore Herculor. I got abandoned warehouses. I may gain 2 commodities, or I may convert up to 2 of my commodities to trade goods. So I'll gain 2 commodities.
I wash them.
Thank you, Hunter. And at the end of that turn, I'm going to use my agent to explore Cormund. Because there's a mech on the planet, I'm going to draw 2 cards. I can either gain a command token or a hazardous relic fragment. I think that I will gain the hazardous relic fragment. At the end of my turn, I will also exhaust the Malice ability to gain myself 2 trade goods.
Going to activate Andira. And I'm going to scan link. I got abandoned warehouses. I got 2 commodities.
I wash them.
Thank you. Wow, what beautiful symmetry there. And then I will turn the sleeper token into a Hell Titan, and I will build a mech on the planet, and that's my turn.
Yeah, so I just want to cut in here and say that this is a really bad moment in my game. My lack of influence has been a problem. And if you look at the map, whenever it cuts back, you will see that I have done a lot of work to solve this problem. And it is not enough because we are getting leadership stalled. So therefore, I've collected all this influence, and I'm sure Ethan's about to pop in and take Mechatol Rex from me. So 6 of it is about to be thrown in the garbage. And I'm not even sure of the rest of it, how much I'm going to get to keep. And this was the thing I was scared of, was that I was not going to have enough influence. And here we are. And it is hard to play Titans with low influence. The only way to sort of get their engine going is to make use of Scanlink, to be constantly using the sleeper tokens to not just get all the Hell Titans out there, but to also use that to get all of your mechs for free. So yeah, this right here is like, I'm really kind of on the back foot.
All right, gonna keep this nice, gonna keep it simple. First, I'm just gonna activate this system, move my destroyer down here. Once again, I'll use Akamar to regain the command token and put that into my tactics pool. And then, using Dark Energy Tap, explore the Frontier token. And we get Kalera's ship. Gain 2 command tokens.
Nice.
Very nice. Very, very nice. You couldn't see it on camera, but I think Ethan was a little upset. At the end of my turn, I will exhaust Emelpar's legendary planet ability and refresh Akamar.
Dude, another Kalera's ship? That's 3 more command tokens with Akamar, and I could just refresh Akamar again. I'm feeling good about this round.
All right, Deep Rod is going to use the Warfare primary ability. I'm going to activate Malice. I'm going to bring this Destroyer and this Dreadnought. Isaac, the Empyrean player, has so graciously allowed me to give him $1 to move through this alpha wormhole. Okay, so it turns out I could have just talked to Nate at the end of the last round because he was kind of fine with losing his carrier in the wormhole nexus. It stinks that I didn't ask him because I thought it would just kind of give away what I'm trying to do. So I potentially could have scored that last round. It still would have been tough because I would still have to win the combat. But I talked to him at the beginning of this round, and it looks like we're just going to be able to do that secret objective now and not have to think about it anymore. And then at the end of the tactical action, I am going to use Hope's End ability, and I am going to put a mech on Hope's End.
And then for following the secondary of warfare, that is going to be the Mahakt, Nazroka, and the Empyrean. I had to destroy a destroyer because I went over fleet supply limits there, but I am just happy to have a flagship instead of the single cost destroyer, so that's perfectly fine.
So before I do anything, I first want to start off by offering Armand a trade for his promissory note.
Yep, and that is a trade that I will take.
All right, now after that, who grabs tech and doesn't pop it immediately? Chumps, that's who. So I'm going to pop technology, and I'm going to research one technology and also spend 6 resources to get another one.
Did you want to decrease the resources by using my alliance of Deep Rot?
Well, why is it your alliance?
Well, I have Deep Rot's alliance.
Ethan wants you to use his
commander.
version of the alliance.
Oh.
You can do both. You can do both and reduce the cost.
Like 2?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
reduce the cost.
that's goated.
That's crazy.
You're so sweet.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was an option.
Just Ethan's. You don't have to do both.
And in order...
Just Ethan. Wait, what?
Alright, so I will be researching War Sons and Destroyer 2s. I will be using Armand as well as Ethan's ability to reduce it by 2, meaning it was only 4 for the additional technology. And I am using AI development algorithm to skip the yellow tech prerequisite on War Suns.
Alright, so originally I was thinking about getting Assault Cannon or Gravity Drive alongside the War Suns, but then I got this really good idea to grab Destroyer 2s so I could wipe out all those stupid gray units and their stupid fighters with my anti-fighter barrage. So yeah, I was just like, hit up Armand and he was like, yeah, what you want, man? I was like, yo, get that Gravity Drive? And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, it's that easy. It's that easy.
As the Mahakt, I'm going to gain Gravity Drive by doing the secondary.
As the NRA, I'm also going to get Gravity Drive, and I'll be giving Ethan and Armand the deal of getting a commodity in return for reducing the cost by 2.
Imperium will also follow, and they will also use the 2 discount provided by Armand and Ethan, and I will be picking up Carrier 2.
As the Deep Rot, I'm going to pay the full 4 to get a PDS 2.
Alright, Mahakt, I'm going to activate the Mechatol Rex system and move some of my units from a couple different planets in there. Coming in, we don't have any action cards to play, so we'll go into the first round of combat immediately. Hunter will roll for his Saturn Engine 2.
Hit.
That is a hit, and I will roll for the carrier and 2 fighters. That is 1 hit.
I'll Tellurian that. So I exhaust my agent, and we cancel the hit.
Second round of combat.
No hit. No hit.
No hit.
Hit. 2 hits.
Oh,
That's what
my
you
God.
needed right there. I sustain. It dies. Bam, nothing.
And that was a miss from Hunter in ground combat with my 2 mechs. That is a hit taking care of the infantry.
And you take Mechatol Rex.
Mechatol Rex has always been ours. The Mahakt come out on top.
Okay, so I lost Mechatol. By the way, Ethan, you forgot to give yourself a token for winning a combat against me, but it's too late now, and I didn't remind you at the time because I don't have your back like that. But at this point is kind of when I'm sort of realizing that maybe I wasn't, the right kind of player for this group. And I want to meet you guys where you're at. I want to stop playing my stupid Space Cats, Peace Turtles, boat float meta, try hard, focus on the win at the expense of everything else type stuff. So I'm done with that, okay? I want to start going Joker mode.
After taking Mechatol Rex, I'm going to use the Atrament to exhaust it at the end of my turn to place up to 2 infantry. I'm going to place those 2 on Mechatol Rex. And then I will also use the Galactic Council legendary ability, exhausting it and discarding one of my secret objectives to draw a new secret objective. Hopefully it's actually something I can score. See, this is more like it. 4 mechs on 4 different planets is pretty realistic, especially when I can maybe grab refit troops again. We'll see.
As the Nazroka Alliance, I will purge a hazardous relic fragment in order to gain a command token and put it into my strategy pool.
Okay. As Titans, I'm going to play politics. I'm going to assign myself the speaker token. I'm going to draw 2 action cards, and I'm going to draw 2 agendas, and I will decide how I would like to place them. I'm going to go 1 top, 1 bottom, and then at this time, everyone else can follow the politics strategy card in order to draw 2 action cards.
Everybody will follow the secondary of politics except for Isaac and Armand.
I just got another Pirate Contract action card, which is a component action, letting me stall. Now I have 2 of them. I think this is looking good for me being able to stall people out and get my secret objective.
All right, Nate, want to know? This is not personal. I'm going to activate this Entropic Scar that has your destroyer in it. I'm going to take this carrier, 1 fighter from here, 1 fighter from Emilpar, and then with carrier 2 and gravity drive, I am able to do 1, 2, 3. All right, so would you like to play any action cards right as combat begins?
I'm good.
All right, since this isn't a Scar, anti-fighter barrage is not used, so we move right into the main combat round. Are there any retreats to be declared?
No.
Hitting on 9s for my carrier and 2 carriers and fighter. That is 1 hit.
I'll roll for my destroyer, hitting on a 9. No hits.
That was good. That was a really, really solid move. That's a point for me. I have Entropic Scar if I want to pick up Void Watch at the end of the turn. I gotta keep this rolling. There is one idea I have.
All right, a few things happen after that combat. First, I am going to exhaust Akamar to gain a command token, as I readied him with Emilfar last turn. Second, I am going to score Brave the Void, which is win a combat in an anomaly, as a secret objective, which will also unlock my hero. Finally, at the end of this tactical action, I will explore the frontier token in the scar itself, which is an unknown relic fragment. At the end of my turn, I am also going to exhaust Jupiter Brain, Thunder's Edge legendary planet ability, to take another action. I will activate Thunder's Edge and build.
All right, brother, that was a bomb turn. Credit where credit is due. You gotta appreciate the others sometimes.
Okay, as the Deep Rot, I'm going to play Exploration Probe from my hand. I'm going to explore a frontier token that is in or adjacent to a system that contains one or more of my ships. I will explore this frontier token, and it is Minor Entropic Field. I gain a command token and a trade good.
For my turn, I'm actually going to reveal the promissory note that I got from Armand, which is Share Knowledge. This is the Deep Rot special promissory note. Action, I can place this card face up in my play area and gain one non-faction, non-unit upgrade tech that the Deep Rot player owns. I place this technology on it, and then I return the technology to the deck and this card to the Deep Rot player at the end of the status phase. So for now, I am going to be grabbing Gravity Drive.
Now's a better time than ever, so we're gonna do Imperial for my turn. I'll score a public objective because I fulfill its requirements. That's gonna be Engineer a Marvel with the flagship that I just built. I'll also score a victory point because I control Mechatol Rex. Then everybody else can follow by spending a token to draw a secret objective if they'd like. Everybody is going to follow that except for Adam, who already has his 3 here left out in the open.
Finally, I got a secret objective that is easy to score. All I have to do is have a legendary planet, which is incredibly easy on this map.
The new secret objective I got was Master the Laws of Physics, which requires me to have 4 technology of the same color. Now, I already have 3 green technologies, and I still have my breakthrough open, which means I can probably get to 4 this round. I won't score it this round because it is another status phase objective, but there's not much the other players can do to stop me from having 4 green technologies, so I think we're in the clear there.
As a Mahakt, that also unlocks my Benediction hero, which I'll explain when it happens. It's going to be a lot of fun.
As a Nazroka, I will be activating Hope's End and bringing a cruiser and an infantry from my home system.
All right, once he commits to the infantry as a ground force, I'm going to choose to have us coexist on this planet. So I will get an ocean card, and Nate will get Hope's End. Because of my prefab Arcology's faction tech, I will get to explore Hope's End and ready it when I gain it. I got Lazak's Survivors, giving this planet +1/+2 as an attachment. Pretty sick. I will then be using Integrated Economy to place a few things on it. Armand told me that his secret objective is to have units in the Wormhole Nexus. We made a deal where, for me, like letting him have it, I got to move my carrier out, take over Hope's End, and he played a Warfare when I wanted him to. I think I got the best end of the deal here, especially because I just got attachment on Hope's End, making it a nice looking planet.
Attempt to play Strategize on Leadership so that I can follow leadership. Does anyone sabotage my Strategize?
Nah, we cool.
I didn't have a sabotage, but just to put it on record, if I did, I wouldn't have used it on him. We homies like that. We go way back.
I could drop a mech just to stop that, but I don't think that'll give me him.
Titans is following leadership for 2 tokens, going into the tactics zone.
I think I've cleared out most of the board of their frontier tokens. I think I want to do it again. I'm going to use an action to use my hero, Multiverse Shift, opening the eye.
This moment was seen before your species learns to fear the dark. Watch as the doorway to the veil is opened.
As an action, I place 1 frontier token in each system that does not contain any planets and does not already have a frontier token. Then I explore each frontier token that is in a system that contains 1 or more of my ships. I then purge the card.
You know, it's really interesting, the emptiness of space. There's a lot of stuff if you know where to look. But I feel like if someone's going to use the Empyrean's hero, there's only one thing to say. Let's go gambling!
All the Frontier tokens have been placed. I'm now going to explore them in order in case any specific like Ion Storms or Mirages pop up. In order, I will be exploring them 1, 2, 3. Here's 1. That is a major entropic field. Gain 1 command token and 3 trade goods. Good start. Here's number 2. Dead World. Draw 1 relic. Very nice. And the last one, Ion Storm. Place the Ion Storm token in this system with either side face up, then place this card in the common player area. At the end of a move, ship, or retreat substep of a tactical action during which one or more of your ships use the Ion Storm wormhole, flip the Ion Storm token to the opposing side. So unfortunately, Entropic Scar prevents the addition of any wormholes, meaning the Ion Storm is basically dead in the water. But overall, I got a relic, a command token, and 3 trade goods. Speaking of relic, I get Nano Forge. Attach this card as an action to a non-legendary, non-home planet you control. Its resource and influence values are increased by 2 and is a legendary planet. This action cannot be performed once attached. I'll take it. Overall, pretty good use of a hero.
You know, it kind of sucks that Ion Storm literally amounted to nothing, but it usually does. But I mean, even still, Nano Forge and a major entropic field, that's not bad. Plus, I got a bunch more tokens back up on the field, and I still think nobody has DET. So I can just kind of take my time in collecting all of them.
All right, I'm going to activate this system right outside my home system, and we're finally going to bring out the Dreadnought and Flagship, as well as some other stuff, and we are going to try to take back New Terra.
You succeed.
Awesome.
All right, it's been far too long. These guys chilling. What's it called again?
All
right, these guys chilling in the fracture. They've been giving me, they've been looking at me a little dirty. So I'm gonna go teach them a lesson because now I got gravity drive. So I am going to activate this system with I don't even know the name of those planets, and I'm gonna bring in my flagship and 2 destroyers, and we're gonna see who can win this fight. So visually, my fleet is trying to push into these 2 planets to destroy all of these fighters, and we'll start off by trying to do that by doing anti-fighter barrage. I have destroyer 2s, which means it's actually 3 dice per, and they hit on 6 or higher. So let's do that right now. Let's roll 6 die. 3 hits.
Oh, that sucks. That really sucks.
Bruh. Unfortunately, I really wanted to get that last fighter because I have that secret objective to wipe out all the fighters with anti-fighter barrage. But I didn't, unfortunately, so I guess we're just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way with 1 less point. But we're still getting these planets, okay? So before we start combat, I'm going to use my agent, which says at the start of a space combat round, I can exhaust the card to choose 1 ship in the active system. I will choose my flagship, and it rolls 1 additional die. So it already does 2 die with hitting on a 5, so it'll do 3 die. And before combat, I also have my Gravleash maneuvers, which says before I roll dice during space combat, I apply +X to the result of one of my ship's rolls, where X is the number of ship types I have in combat, so currently it is 2, and we will add that as well. So I will be rolling 3 dice, and essentially 3, so this is pretty much a War Sun. That is 3 hits.
The neutral carrier is going to hit on a 9. That is a hit, and the neutral fighter on an 8. That is just 1 hit from the neutral units.
I could roll for my destroyers, and I will, just because, but it doesn't actually matter. Alrighty, so now we're going to bombard, and you know what? This planet already seems kind of bombarded enough, so, well, they actually kind of both do. Anyway, we're going to do it on this bottom one here, and because I have plasma scoring, I will roll an additional die, so it's 4 hitting on 5. And yeah, that absolutely obliterates that dude. He's dead. All right, now we are entering, so I will guarantee get 1 guy there, and now I have a set of ground combat with my 2 infantry. Okay, so they hit on 8s, which that is 1 hit, and we'll see if they retaliate.
Neutral infantry hit on an 8. That is not a hit. So you take both planets. That will gain Adam a relic for each planet because of this relic symbol next to the different resource and influence symbols on these fracture planets.
So the moment I have been waiting for, which is the rewards. First relic I get is the Quantum Core. Oh, that one sucks. That one's, what? Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty bad.
Right now.
The Quantum Core says when you gain this card, you gain your breakthrough. I already have it. I have synergy for all technology types. Oh, all right. That was just the primer, you know, the salad at the beginning. No one wants to eat it. This is the prime rib, okay? The Prophet's Tears. When you research a technology, click on this card to ignore free rent or draw an action card. Well,
I guess your prime rib was expired.
Oh my gosh.
okay.
Thanks for sending out the deck, Adam.
Incredible.
Oh no.
This is some nice relics, Adam. You know, props to you, man. You got some good stuff there.
Alright, as the Mahakt, I'm going to play the action card Ghost Ship off of Garbosia from last round. So, as an action, I place a destroyer from my reinforcements in a non-home system that contains a wormhole, but no other player's ships. I'm going to place it in Atlas.
Aww. Let's do it again!
Not to put the destroyer train blocking Adam into a thing, but I'm going to be playing Pirate Contract. As an action, I place a neutral destroyer in a non-home system that contains no non-neutral ships. I'm going to place it into this egress. Knowing that Adam is trying to go for killing fighters with anti-fighter barrage, thanks to us knowing a secret objective, I think I'm going to try to gun up the works and maybe keep his fleet from getting out really easily next round.
All right, I'm going to activate Renterra and Tennis, whatever it is. And I'm going to redeem one of my sleeper tokens and turn it into a Hell Titan. And this Hell Titan is going to go into coexistence with Deep Rot. Well, look at that. It never works that way, you know? I did that.
For my turn as the Empyrean, I will be popping trade. I have made a deal with everyone at the table, so everyone will be getting a refresh. Just going around to explain what deals have been made. I'm going to refresh Adam's two commodities in exchange for a promissory note from him. I'm going to refresh Ethan's commodities and give him a trade good, and in exchange, he's going to use his agent to token lift Thunder's Edge for me, in addition to giving me one of his relic fragments. I'm going to refresh Titans with the expectation that he gives me his commodities and we do an even trade so that we may get the benefits of our pact. I'm going to refresh, and then finally, since the same deal for these two, I'm going to refresh both Nazroka and Deep Rot, and they'll give me one trade good in exchange for the refresh.
All right, for the Deep Rot turn, I'm going to activate my breakthrough. So everyone can spend the 3 trade goods. I made some deals, so I'll be giving some promissory notes back.
Spending the 3, and then I'm giving I'm giving Deep Rot a promissory note back, and then they give it back to me.
And I'm exhausting my agent for him so he can ignore prerequisite.
And we will both be picking up X89.
I'm also going to be taking advantage of Armand's breakthrough, and I'm going to be getting Light Wave Deflector, giving it also to him. In return, he's going to discount the trade goods I need to spend by 1 and also return the promissory note.
Well, he's already getting light waves, so I figure I might as well get light wave and give him Adam's promissory note that I got.
All right, so 3 players have X89, and 3 players have light wave deflectors. I'm the only one that has both at the moment, but I might have to use my hero at some point and make sure that nobody has one of those, because those are 2 very strong technologies that could end up ending the game before I can get enough points.
Alright, for the Mahak turn, I'm going to play again the action on my breakthrough Vaults of the Air. Exhaust it and purge one of my technologies to gain a relic, which will be Predictive Intelligence this time. So after purging Predictive, the relic is Heart of Ixth. After any die is rolled, I may exhaust this card to add or subtract 1 to its result.
Damn, the relics have been really bad this game.
When I started this journey of purging relic fragments instead of using them for relics, I was kind of worried I'd be missing out on some really juicy relics. But seeing what's coming out, I think I made the right call to just wait and see what comes up. and get some tokens and some stalls instead. As the NRA, I'm going to be playing another pirate contract to place a neutral destroyer in a non-home system that contains no non-neutral ships. I'm going to pick this system in the Fracture.
Nice. For my action, I will just build at home. It's going to be a mech and 2 infantry and 2 fighters. That's all.
As the Empyrean, it's starting to look a little lean for options since NRA loves sitting on their leadership. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to activate this system up in the Fracture and then go 1, 2, gravity drive 3, and I'm just going to see what I can get with this Frontier token. We get Lost Crew. Draw 2 action cards. Which is a little unfortunate as I'm going to need to discard down.
Alright, Deep Rot is going to use a strategize action card, and I would like to do the secondary of construction. If that is going to happen, then I'm going to spend a token, and I'm going to put a PDS on Tibbs.
Huh. I wonder what secret objective Armand has.
Ah, man, this might not be the best use of strategize, because I know Ethan has the Codex, but I kind of need to, not stall, but I just need to do something that isn't using my tokens. And it is also nice that I get to beef up the defense around my home system, just so people can't, barge in there and do whatever. Because I kind of just have to sit there for the time being. There's no objectives that really need me to go anywhere, so I'm kind of fine with staying here. It just feels vulnerable.
Alrighty, so just a simple turn here for myself. I will activate my home system, and I'm going to produce 2 destroyers.
Well, we could still kill that.
And for my turn, I'm going to activate Lemox, and I'm going to bring the cruiser from home over to it, and that's it.
As the NRA, I will be doing a transaction with Ethan where he gives me a hazardous relic fragment, and I'll give him a trade good in order to have me purge it now instead of using leadership.
Absolutely. Good deal.
And then I will purge that hazardous relic fragment in order to gain a command token.
So I'm going to use Faunus whenever I pass to take control of Wellen and explore it. When I explore it, I get abandoned warehouses, which is these 2 commodities that I'm really just getting so that I can give you one.
Could I have both, maybe?
Yeah, let's just say you get both for absolutely no reason.
I could hook you up with my yeah.
Oh yeah, no, just take it.
SCP boat floating at it.
Yeah, we're yacht floating tonight.
That's 1 person passed. I'm that much closer.
So after an intense amount of haggling and back and forth with Adam to remain chill with each other while at the same time doing this, I'm going to activate this system here, and I'm going to bring a Dread and 1 infantry. And I am going to take Grawl, but in exchange, I will give him 3 trade goods as a peace offering.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we chill.
We chill. Awesome. Great to hear.
Mr. Moneybags over here, 16 trade goods, by the way, is scared I'm gonna slime his home system? Bruh, nah. You know what's on my hit list? Sticks and all those stupid neutral units. They're going down. But yeah, I could totally take his stuff out, yeah, if I needed to. No problem. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, sure. It might not be like the most clean of deals, but ultimately, I'm getting a point. And quite frankly, a barony with a war son is not an enemy that I want right on my doorstep. So I want to keep things chill with Adam. Thankfully, he seems to be having fun in the Fracture, so I'm good.
You know, I wonder if I could have gotten a little more money out of him.
Alrighty, we're going to do just a quick action, use the sling relay. I'm going to make a ship in my home system, and that's all.
Alright, so there's been this epidemic recently of these pirates showing up, so I also have a pirate contract. I'm going to place a neutral destroyer in a non-home system that contains no non-neutral ships.
This is the biggest decision.
Oh yeah, totally not stolen.
Can we take a 30-minute break to think about this?
Yeah, you know what?
I would like a half hour.
So odds, evens. Oh, it's in the fraction.
It was odds.
It was.
All right, it's gone. They all just popped up in the Fracture. There's just pirates, hanging out.
Pirates.
Pirates in
They're getting the worst contracts of their lives, man.
No.
All right, on my turn, I'm getting a really interesting deal from Hunter that he would give me a support for the throne for 2 trade goods.
2. Right there.
I guess I'll take the deal just to see where this goes.
At this point, once I've given the support over to Ethan, he starts looking at me like he thinks I'm just kind of throwing the game. And honestly, I'm kind of comfortable to let him think that I'm at that point where I might be throwing this game. Although, I don't even think I have the ability to throw a game in my body. What I'm looking for is to shake up the relationships, to shake up the meta of this group. There's a lot of allegiances here based off of familiarity. You know, you've got, you know, Ethan kind of telling Adam in round 2, like, here's the deal that I want it to be, and we don't even know what Adam's getting out of it. In round 2, Ethan was like, it's a no, there's no strings attached speaker. I caught you saying that, all right? Very sneaky stuff. He knew that Adam was not going to take something because Adam is chaotic. Well, guess what? I'm chaotic too.
Well, shit, hold on. We're just selling our supports? Yo, let me scrounge mine up real quick. First buyer, man.
So I place support for the throne in my play area, although I will place it here just to remind you all in the audience that I have gotten a point from it, unless I activate any one of Hunter's systems with ships or units. So that will get me a victory point as long as I don't mess with him. I am then going to purge the Codex, the relic that I got earlier, to take up to 3 action cards of my choice for the action card discard pile. The 3 that I'm taking are 2 Strategize and 1 Exploration Probe.
Meanwhile, we've got an agenda phase coming up, so maybe that will be fun.
As the NRA, I'm going to activate Malice. I will use Scaling Drone Network to explore it. Because I have a mech on the planet, I'll get to draw 2 exploration cards and choose which one I want. I will choose to take a Cultural Relic Fragment. The Dyson Sphere would have been really nice earlier in the game, but I think this Cultural Relic Fragment will be better now.
Oh, I'm gonna die of old age before Nate ever plays leadership. Oh!
Alright, well, this will probably be my last action for the turn because I doubt any of us will live to see leadership played. So, I'm going to use my action to play Nanoforge. I'm going to attach it to Regal 1, turning it into a 2/3 planet.
I do still have tokens in my tactic pool, but I think I'm going to save them for next round, so Deep Rot is going to pass.
That's 2.
Alright, so I'm looking to pass, and I'm going to use the Legendary Planet ability from Industrex. And because I now have War Suns, I can get a War Sun wherever I have one of my ships, which I'm going to put over in here. But because my fleet size is only 3, I'm going to have to unfortunately let go of one of my destroyers. He really disappointed me earlier when he didn't, finish the job with the anti-fighter barrage, so we're going to can his ass.
That's 3 people passed.
All right, for my turn, I'm going to play Strategize. As an action, I'm going to perform the secondary ability of any readied or unchosen strategy card. I'm going to pick Diplomacy, and I'm going to ready Ixth and Mechatol Rex.
As the NRA, I'm going to take a Cultural Relic Fragment and purge it for a command token.
Well, after a lot of deliberation and the unfortunate realization that I have nothing in range besides my own stuff for Stellar Converter, I am going to have to pass.
That's 4 people passed.
All right, well, as my action, I'm going to use that other card that I grabbed, Exploration Probe. Explore a frontier token that is in or adjacent to a system that contains 1 or more of my ships.
All right, okay, Ethan, you're going to use my Strategize, you're going to use my Exploration Probe. Just say you want to be me, okay? Just say that you're just doing everything that I'm doing, but after. But you also get more points? That's not cool.
I'm going to explore this token here. And the frontier card is... Mirage. Place the Mirage Planet token in the system, gain Mirage and ready it, then purge this card. So I'm going to gain that Mirage Planet card, and I'll also gain the Legendary Planet ability card, which allows me at the end of my turn to place 2 fighters in a system that contains 1 or more of my ships.
As the NRA, I'm going to activate Cormand. I'm going to use Scaling Drone Network to explore it, using that mech to draw 2 exploration cards due to my Distant Suns ability. I'm going to get Mining World to increase this planet's resource value by 2.
And as the Mahact, I am the last player other than Nazroka, so I'm going to go ahead and pass.
That's 5 people passed. I've got it in the bag. As the NRA, I'm going to play my leadership strategy card. I'm going to gain 3 command tokens, and then I'm going to spend 8 influence from planets as well as 1 trade good to gain 6 command tokens.
Sheesh. All right, Deep Rot will follow using the home planet Ikatina and 2 oceans, and I will get 2 command tokens.
Empyrean will follow using 8 influence from planets and 1 trade good to get 3 command tokens.
All right, I'll be exhausting Centauri and Renterra, and that will allow me to get 2 tokens, which I'll be putting in my tactic pool.
And as the Mahakt, I'm going to be exhausting Mechatol Rex in order to gain 2 command tokens, both of which I'll put in my fleet pool.
All right, as the NRA, I'm going to activate Lodor, and with my flagship, I'm going to be attacking the Empyrean.
It is, it's not looking good for me here, so I think right off the bat, I will declare a retreat at the start of this combat round. Any action cards?
No, none for me.
And none for me either. All right, let's see if my carrier can go down swinging. Nope, that is the lowest it can go.
All right, my flagship hits on 9s as well as my fighter. That is 2 hits. And then my mech also gets an additional die due to being the same system as my flagship, so they'll be rolling on 8s. All right, the mech gets to roll additional dice while on the planet, so I'll be rolling 3 on 6 for the mechs.
There she is.
That is 2 hits.
Well, let's see if the infantry can at least die fighting. 7, just barely misses. So I will lose Lodor. He will take control of it. But as I lose Lodor, I'm going to play Reparations. After combat, after another player gains control of a planet you control, exhaust one player that player controls, and I ready one planet that I control.
All right. I was really sad when Titans gave terraforming to Empyrean, but now I've got it back. Due to my commander, I get to explore the planet and take it over, as well as ready it. And then because I have a mech on the planet, I will be able to draw 2 exploration cards due to my Distant Suns ability. Because this attachment, Terraform, gives the planet all planet traits, I will draw from the Hazardous deck. I have an option of a Core Mine or a Hazardous Relic Fragment. I'll take the Hazardous Relic Fragment.
All right, and for reparations, I decided to exhaust his Hope's End, and I've readied my Thunder's Edge.
For my next action as the NRA, I'm going to activate Wellen. Because this sleeper token does not count as a unit, I do not have to give Hunter back his Alliance Promissory Note. I'll be taking a cruiser from Lazul Rex, and I now have Lightweight Deflector, plus Gravity Drive, and with that 3 movement, plus the Gravity Drive, I'll be able to get there through these ships. As I move to Wellen, I'm going to take that planet from Hunter. With my commander, I'll be able to ready it and explore it. And with my Distant Suns ability with the mech, I will draw 2 industrial cards. I have a functioning base and a biotech research facility. I'll choose functioning base. It says you may gain 1 commodity or you may spend 1 trade good or 1 commodity to draw 1 action card, which I will do. I will next play the action card I just drew, which is Frontline Deployment. Action, place 3 infantry from your reinforcements on 1 planet you control. I'm going to pick Roka. For my next action, I will place a command token into Lazul Rex and Crescia system. Because of my Scanlink Drone Network, I will explore Lazul Rex. I will do so as Industrial. And I got a functioning base where I can gain a commodity or may spend 1 trade good or 1 commodity to draw an action card. I don't have any trade goods or commodities left, so I'll just be getting 1 commodity.
I wash you.
I will then produce in that system.
Ooh, wow, okay, yeah. Oof, Nate is going kind of crazy here. Did I give him too many favorable trades? I hope not.
I'll be placing down 2 cruisers and 4 infantry on Lazul Rex. For my last action this round, I will be placing a command token in my home system and producing. Alright, and I'm going to produce 2 carriers and 4 infantry on Nazir. And then for what should be my last action, we'll see, I'm going to use Hazardous Relic Fragments for their intended purpose instead of just throwing them away, and I'm going to gain a relic.
Finally, I thought he would never get a relic. Nazroka, come on, man.
And the relic I gained was JRXS4550 or Junior. Action. Exhaust this agent and choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources to place a structure on a planet they control. If they do not, they gain 1 trade good. So I lied. That was not my last action. This will be. Action, I will choose myself and gain 1 trade good. And with that, I will finally pass. And as my last thing to do, I have an action phase secret objective that says be the last player to pass during a game round, giving me a point and putting me up to 3, also unlocking my hero. All right, that was great. I was able to get my secret objective. I got a lot of value out of my exploration cards. I may have pissed off the whole table by stalling leadership that long, but hey, that's TI4, baby.
At the beginning of the status phase, just like the last couple, I and the Empyrean have a chance to activate the Entropic Scars. Now, I already have both of my faction techs, so it's pretty useless to me. However, I believe Isaac, as the Empyrean, is going to.
You're absolutely right, Ethan. I am going to spend a token from my strategy pool to pick up Void Watch, which will allow me to possibly get some promissory notes from people if they decide to invade me.
For Deep Rot's hydrothermal mining, I have all 5 of my ocean cards, so I'll be getting 5 trade goods. And for radical advancement, I will be switching out AI development algorithm for mage and defense grid.
And now we're ready to start scoring, starting with the Nazroka.
I have a secret objective that I will score that is control 4 industrial planets. I will also be scoring, have 2 unit upgrades.
All right. Coming to you live from Ethan's house. I'm going to be scoring, I'm Titans. I'm going to be scoring establish a perimeter, have 4 PDS units on the board. PDS units is this one. And then the other thing I'll score is amass wealth. Spend 3 influence, spend 3 resources, and spend 3 trade goods, bringing me up to 5.
The Empyrean will also score a secret objective of stake your claim. Control a planet in a system that contains a planet controlled by another player. I'm doing so with good old Adam, here with Quan and Centauri. So I will score that, bringing me up to 4. I will also amass wealth, spending 3 influence, 3 resources, and 3 trade goods, bringing up to a total of 5.
The Deep Rot Scholar is going to score a secret objective, that being defy space and time to have units in the Wormhole Nexus. I will also then spend 3 influence, resources, and trade goods to amass wealth and get that point as well.
Alright, it's pretty obvious because all my secret objectives are visible, but I do actually have threatened enemies, have 1 or more ships in a system that is adjacent to another player's home system, so I'll score that. And just like everyone else, I'm going to spend 3 resources from Atlas, and then I have a bunch of extra trade goods, so I'll do that for trade goods and influence.
And then finally, as a Mahat, I will score amass wealth 333, as well as control the region, have 1 or more ships in 6 different systems, scoring 2 points, bringing me up to 7. All right, and then we're going to reveal the next public objective, which is raise a fleet, have 5 or more non-fighter ships in 1 system. All right, we took a moment to decide whether or not Isaac was going to use Neural Loop, but he decided against it. So we're going to clean up the board, draw action cards, and reset the strategy cards as normal, and we'll see you in the second agenda phase of the 3rd round.
Alright, look. It might seem like I'm trapped in the fracture, but I got a big brain play, okay? No one's grabbing tech. Who's gonna grab tech? I am. They're gonna pass it right over to me. Boom, light wave deflector. Boom, gravity drive. And I'm just gonna zoom on over to Styx. Absolute cinema. Again.
I was a little doubtful of me having a chance at winning this game right now. I'm not in a good position board-wise, and I don't really have a lot of places where I can score a ton of points. But I did just draw Overrule. For those who don't know, Overrule is probably the most powerful action card in the game. As an action, you can perform the primary of any unreadied or unchosen strategy card. Meaning if I can play some cards right, I can overrule on Imperial and get some extra points. Now, I think the biggest thing, if I'm going to make this work, I need to get my Watcher set up. Because nothing attracts sabotage like Overrule, and I know some people already have some sabotages. This might take some prep work, but I might be able to pull this off.
Wow, this was a long round. Hey, so welcome to the agenda phase, round 3. I'm your host, Umber Bomblegood. First up, for agenda, remember we play hidden agendas, just reminding you of that. First up is the agenda Prophecy of Ix. This is a law. Elect player. The elected player gains this card. The owner of this card applies +1 to the result of their fighters' combat rolls. When the owner of this card uses production, they discard this card unless they produce 2 or more fighters. Famously, no one's ever done this right. So maybe we'll be the first. So the votes are as follows. So 13 votes was placed on Empyrean. You are second place, though, sadly, because first place goes to Nazroka with 17 votes. Let's hear it. And you have been elected the Prophecy of Ix. So now we've got the directive mutiny. 4. Each player that voted for gains 1 victory point. Against, each player that voted for loses 1 victory point. Even victory points that they may have gotten as a result of a deal.
Really?
Well, it's not a specific victory point.
Does it say all that?
It does say that, yeah.
Really?
And also, you're not allowed to talk.
I will play Sanction after an agenda is revealed. I cannot vote on this agenda. Good thing mine are gone. Predict aloud an outcome of this agenda. If your prediction is correct, each player that voted for that outcome returns 1 command token from their fleet supply to their reinforcements. I'm going to predict 4 because I do not want it to happen. Knowing that I had this action card, I decided to put all my votes in the last agenda, hoping that the next one that would come out would be a 4 or against to make this action card pretty useful. Hopefully it works out okay, but in the meantime, I got a nifty ability with a good amount of flyers on the board, so hopefully this works out really well.
You may exhaust this card before a player casts votes. That player must cast at least 1 vote for an outcome of my choice or remove a token from their fleet pool and return it to their reinforcements. Isaac, you're going to be voting for.
I'm canceling my membership.
Oh, I've got this victory point in the bag. Let's go. Genetic recombination, forcing people to do things. We've got fleet tokens being removed. Ain't no way is this going against me. I've got it pretty locked up.
Yeah, yeah, this is going to be fun. So, the result is that I will say there were 19 votes for, a valiant effort from the 4s. But the vote actually went 20 against.
No!
Yes! Yeah.
No way!
Let's go! Take that, Ethan!
Woo! Yeah! Back down to 6, Ethan. I don't even care that I lose a fleet token. Get back down there, boy. You ain't winning this turn. No! No! I won't take that fleet pool penalty. Lose a point.
The first time I've ever seen anyone lose a point for mutiny is right now. In
God.
8 years. In 8
Boys,
years.
by 1
This is
by
the
time.
time.
Let's go.
It's only you. It's only you.
Vote. You back down to 6. Did you vote against?
Yeah.
I'm taking the fleet pool tax. Take that fleet pool. I'm taking the fleet pool tax.
And lose your point. Lose your point.
You want to know the crazy thing? If you didn't throw that on me, I would have thrown 4. It was like, okay, well, I'm losing no matter what.
I thought it was just like 4, and I just threw all my stuff.
I was
so
happy. I was so happy that you threw that.
So against pass,
so no one got a point, but even lost 1. And only Ethan.
And
the only one that voted for.
You knew this was going to happen with your support.
I mean, look at where we're at, Ethan. How did we get here?
Yeah, we'll see you in the strategy phase. As part of your halftime show, they're making me put my victory point total down. Oh no. And there it is. 6 points. Welcome to the Cardboard Crash Course Galactic Report halftime show, which is just 5 minutes of us chatting and checking up on our first day. So we recorded this over 2 days. It's going to be today and then tomorrow. We're going to get a good night's sleep before going into round 4. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling real good after that agenda phase. You know, I'm feeling confident.
That was the peak of the entire experience.
Pretty awesome. It's all downhill from here, guys. I'm sorry to say.
The rest of it was just Twilight Imperium.
I thought you said Chili's was the peak.
Well, that was the first peak.
They're multiple yesterday.
Every day has had a peak, and Chili's has been a big part of the experience. By the way, Chili's is an incredible restaurant.
Shout out Chili's.
If you live near a Chili's, why don't you go there more? That's what I say.
Sponsored by Space Cats Peace Turtles.
Yeah. Chili's, sponsored by Space Cats Peace Turtles.
Really throwing them a bone.
Wait.
Yeah.
They really get some help.
No, that's what you said. That is what you said. So Chili's be looking for your check in the mail from me, your guy.
So how do we feel like the first few rounds went?
At the first round, I was feeling like pretty crappy. I was pretty poor, and I was seeing everybody else get attachments, and I was like, dude, that's like my thing. And then this last round, it's like, okay, things are coming my way. All the explorers were good. Got attachments. Got good action cards. Like, I'm feeling in a good place.
It feels like the relics were so all over the place so far.
Yeah.
Because like
They've been so fire.
Dumpster fire?
They've been so incredible.
Because you know we got like Stellar Converter, and then like you know like Neuraloop, you know, balancing out a little bit, and then we got your two relics.
Dude, I mean,
how are you guys feeling?
Stumble over myself so much when I'm actually on camera, whereas like when we're just chatting, like I'm totally fine, totally chill, but then when it comes to actually say words, it's like, crap, like this is kind of freaky.
I feel pretty comfortable with it, but I also think like I'm a natural showman, so I just run with everything.
Yeah.
I hope I'm entertaining.
You're a dancer. You have a dancer's soul, you know.
Which is weird. I do not like dancing.
Yeah. I said you had a dancer's soul, not a dancer's feet.
True, might be a feet stuff.
Oh, whoa. Hey.
Wow. Okay.
Ethan, anybody can dance.
All right. Wow.
People all around the world dance, all right?
Well, you will see more of us in the after show after this is all over. That is a YouTube member exclusive, so become a member at the student or professor tier to come chat with us and watch us live, just like this podcast style on the after show. We'll see you in the next few rounds of the Galactic Report after we get a good night's rest. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I also wanted to say that this Galactic Report is officially sponsored by Nate's Panamaniac 3D Etsy store.
Yeah, I really enjoyed CCC for a long time. That's kind of one of the things that got me first into TI. It's been fun to have a relationship with Ethan for a few years now, and I'm happy to be here and be playing the game and making it happen in a small respect.
It's crazy to have you here because I've really chatted back and forth with Nate for a long time, and I would love for you all to go support him. So he's sponsoring this, making this event happen in the first place, and the way that you can help Nate back is by going to the description down below and picking up his organizer or any other organizers or upgrades he makes for Twilight Imperium. The ones that you see in the video and the ones that Adam, Armand, and I play in our personal games is made by Panamaniac 3D. So go to that link in the description down below, use code CCC10 for 10% off anything in your cart, and we'll see you in the second half of the Galactic Report. Thank you, Nate.
Appreciate it.
All right, it's day 2 and I'm in a new t-shirt. So let's get going with round 4.
Yeah, I'll just be completely straightforward with you. Really, for me, it all comes down to the only way that I win this game is by a lot of things happening. And so my only play is to like try to make things happen. So I'm not getting... I'm at 5 points, so you're going to bring me...
All right, so Hunter and Nate have been talking for a little bit now in the other room. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but it seems like they're colluding on something. Both of them pick a strategy before me, and it seems like they're going to do some sort of deal. I kind of just hope I get left with politics here, because especially after that mutiny, the way that things are shaking out, I don't think anyone's winning round 4. But if I'm speaker round 5, I could probably win. In the action phase? Maybe?
Alright, as the Titans, I will be taking leadership.
As the Nazroka Alliance, I made a deal with Hunter after extreme duress and conversation, back and forth wheeling and dealing. I'll be giving him my support for the throne at the end of his first turn in exchange for me getting to take the Imperial card. Hunter approached me on this deal yesterday. I think I'm going to take him up on it. We deliberated a lot. I guess I'm going to try it. I don't know if I'm a good enough player to pull this out, but if I'm really lucky, I can get to 9 points by the end of the round. 10 if I can get a relic, which would be great. I guess we'll see what happens, and hopefully I don't mess it up. I think Hunter might be trying to make me the table's focus so he can get a victory, but I gotta shoot my shot. How about if you wash my back, I wash yours?
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan, my friend.
Good deal.
Alrighty, Deep Rot will then take politics.
Imperium was feeling really inspired by Adam's fervor for the tech card, so we're also going to be taking technology.
Gasp! Isaac, how could you do this? I thought we were homies, man. You are on thin ice, buddy. Thin ice.
After that absolutely horrifying and sick betrayal of trust, I think I'm just gonna have to grab Warfare, and we'll see what happens.
This is war, okay?
And as the Mahakt, my strategy card for round 4 is going to be construction, gaining me a trade good.
Just giving you a little bit of behind the scenes detail, my deal with Nazroka, that hopefully you know all about, actually almost fell through. I don't know how much, we're not necessarily going to talk about that too much, but Nazroka did get second thoughts and almost did not go for it. If we had not done the deal, I would have to take politics and then give the speaker token to Ethan, which likely would put Ethan in a position to do very good next round. But I just have to do that. I got to play to my outs, and they're getting few and far between.
All right, for my first action, I'm going to activate Wellen. Going to redeem my sleeper token for a Hell Titan. I'm now coexisting with Nazroka, and we'll do a transaction where Nazroka gives me support for the throne. I return the Nazroka Alliance in exchange for Nazroka's support for the throne, and I go up 1 point. Oh.
Alright, Deep Rot, we're just going to use politics immediately. I'll make myself the speaker, and anyone can follow if they would like. Okay, so I put an agenda on the top and an agenda on the bottom. The one I put on top is covert legislation, which is really cool because I'm the speaker. I will get to know what everyone's voting on, but they won't get to know anything.
Oh, 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 yeah, oh, yeah, yes! Dude, unexpected action. This is unexpected, and this is sweet.
Okay, Armand speaker next round. I'm second pick. I've been thinking a bit. There's a way I can win this. I need to cut a deal with, I think, Armand, or maybe Adam, but probably Armand, for his support for the throne. If I can get that, that'll bring me up to 6. Score public this round, pretty easy. Bring me up to 7. And then if I get leadership, like I think Armand's going to let me have, first action round 5, I can get 3 points with Overrule. Or 2 points with Overrule. 1 from my Darken the Sky secret objective to win a combat in another player's home system. And Adam's home system is looking real weak.
Alright, I as the Mahakt, I'm going to play the action card that I just drew off of that, Signal Jamming. As an action, I'm going to choose one non-home system that contains or is adjacent to one of my ships and place a command token from another player's reinforcements in that system. Adam, I would like you to place it on the Limak system. I am then also going to use the legendary planet ability of both Primor and Mirage to place 2 infantry and 2 fighters on my systems and planets.
Alrighty, so the rat scurried in and stole my technology. So I have to do a little workaround to get the 2 tech I was looking for this round. And really the only way to do that is by making a deal with Armand.
What'd you call me out here for?
Bro, I need your promissory note. Dude, how could I have made that any clearer?
Armand, I am offering my support for the throne to get your promissory note for the turn.
And that is a deal that I will take.
Alright, so we'll hook you up with that. And I'm actually immediately going to use it again. Just like last round, I am going to grab Gravity Drive.
Due to Adam's insistence and me being just really a kind guy at the end of the day, I think I am going to pop technology as my first action. I will be banking on both Armand and Ethan's discount to discount the price for the second tech down to 4. And I will be picking up X89 Bacterial Weapon and Dreadnought 2s.
The barony is researching light wave deflectors and is going to be reduced by 2 because of Mahakt stealing the commander of Deep Rot, as well as just Deep Rot themselves. And as I, the Prophet, tearing up a little bit, when I research a technology, you may exhaust this card to ignore 1 prereq. I don't need that, so I'm going to instead draw 1 action card.
That is the Mahakt. I'm going to decrease the amount down by 1 due to Deep Rot's commander, and I'm going to get Sling Relay.
As the Titans, I researched Hell Titan 2.
As the NRA, I'm going to research X89 Bacteria Weapon, and I'll be exhausting Lodor before it gets taken away from me, inevitably.
Deep Rot is gonna not follow technology this round.
One last thing, I don't actually have a yellow technology for Dreadnought 2s, so I cut a deal with Armand to use his agent to ignore that prerequisite. We're now coexisting on Thunder's Edge.
So I think for my turn, I'm gonna...
Well, here's the thing here, Nate. I don't think I really want to have Imperial and do some shenanigans, so I'm going to play Extreme Duress. At the start of another player's turn, if they have a readied strategy card, if that player's next action is not a strategic action, so using Imperial, you have to give me all of your trade goods, discard all of your action cards, and show me all of your secret objectives.
Alright, I guess I'm playing Imperial. Well, there goes my chance of probably winning this round. I don't like being the focus of the table, so maybe it's the right call. I probably could have thrown away all my action cards and let Isaac see my secret objective, but with it being a status phase one, everyone would probably know because he'd probably tell everybody, and I probably would just get kicked out of the game by having my home system and everything destroyed. Maybe I could have made it happen, but I think it may be the right call to just stay back and let things happen. With Imperial, I get to immediately score 1 public objective. I will score Amass Wealth, which is to spend 3 trade goods and to spend 3 influence and 3 resources. I'll be exhausting Malice and Corman to do so, moving me up to 6.
He probably should have just gone with the discard everything and show him the secret objectives, because he has Malice and a couple other ways to get trade goods, and that's what he needs to score this objective. So I'm a little confused on why he just used Imperial without trying to take it from me.
Then I would gain 1 victory point if I control Megator Rex. Otherwise, I draw a secret objective. So I will draw a secret objective since I do not control Megator Rex.
I don't know. I got the feeling that letting Nate just score 2-pointer, I think he can win the game a lot earlier than a lot of people think. Maybe it was a waste for Extreme Duress, but I don't want to risk it. I think just getting it out of the way, making sure he can't double score, good enough for me.
For the people following Imperial, that's going to be Mahakt, Barony, and Deep Rot. The other 2 are going to be skipping the secondary for Imperial.
Ooh, I did just draw an action phase secret objective to win a combat with my flagship, which I think is super possible from where it is. When I put it there last round, I kind of felt bad because I was kind of far away from everything. I wasn't sure if it was going to actually be helpful. But I think I might be able to score this now. And if I can somehow grab the Obsidian Relic, then I'll have a status-based secret objective for the end of the round as well. I could actually maybe pull this out if things get lucky.
Hoard Raw Materials is the one that I drew off the secondary of Imperial, and it's really no bueno. It's going to be really difficult for me to do. So, once I get around to my turn again, I'm going to go ahead and use the Legendary Planet ability of Megator Rex and shoot my shot once more.
Alright, this isn't impossible, but everyone knows that I have it, so it'll be really hard. Maybe I go grab the cultural planets right in front of me, but I guess I have to be thankful that it's not mechanized military again.
Guys, the secret I drew is called Drive the Debate, and all it requires to score is that I get elected, or a planet that I control, but because covert legislation's on top, if the one under it is an elect player or planet, and they don't know what they're voting for, I might be able to swing it towards me. Wait. That's awesome.
At the end of my turn, I will exhaust the Malice legendary ability card, which says you may exhaust this card at the end of your turn to gain 2 trade goods or convert all of your commodities to trade goods. So I will gain 2 trade goods.
As the Titans player, I'm going to exhaust Leadership. Because I'm the Leadership player, I use the primary to get 3 tokens, and I exhausted planets in order to get 4 additional tokens.
As a Nazroka, I'll be following Leadership, spending 7 influence and 2 trade goods for 3 tokens.
Deep Rot will be spending 5 influence and a trade good to get 2 tokens.
Hyrian will be spending 9 influence to get 3 tokens.
The barony will also be spending 9 influence to get 3 tokens.
And me as the Mahact, I will be spending 12 influence to get 4 tokens all in my tactic pool. So with these tokens that I'm getting, I'm going to be able to use the Mahact Commander. So the Mahact Commander is really cool. Basically, it allows me to reactivate a system that's already activated by one of my tokens and remove both of them and end my turn, which is awesome and works in tandem kind of with the agent where I get to remove somebody else's token. With this one, I get to remove mine, and it's very thematic in that way. It can be very expensive, but it does break one of those fundamental rules of the game.
All right, Deep Rot's going to use their breakthrough, so we'll let everyone decide whether they're going to spend trade goods to research.
Empyrean will capitalize on this, spending 3 trade goods and passing Armand a promissory note to get fleet logistics, which essentially allows me to take 2 actions a turn instead of 1.
As the Titans player, I use the Deep Rot breakthrough to get Magen Defense Grid.
The rest of us will not be following this breakthrough, so we'll go on to Mahact's turn. As the Mahact, I'm going to use the primary ability of construction. I will be producing at one of my space docks, as well as placing a structure on a planet I control, and then each other player can spend a token to place a structure on a planet they control if they'd like. Adam and Armand will be following this, and you'll see all of it appear in just a moment.
Okay, you know what's funny? For a while, I was sitting and thinking to myself, man, this guy needs to use warfare so I can produce in my home system and then move stuff on over. And then I realized, that's me. Well, either way, Ethan using construction's great because now I can just build stuff in the fracture and go straight to sticks.
And then at the end of my turn, I'll be using the Galactic Council ability from Mechatol Rex, discarding a secret objective to draw a new one. Okay, make an example of their world is a lot better than Horde Raw Materials that I had before. And I actually think I might be able to pull it off if I do this correctly.
Alright, this will be quite a simple turn for the Barony. I am going to use my hero, which is Dark Matter Affinity.
Converge the fleets. Burn them and leave no survivors.
Action. Place this card near the game board. The number of non-fighter ships you can have in systems is not limited by laws or by the number of command tokens in your fleet pool this game round. At the end of the game round, I purge the card. I currently only have 1. The Barony innately gives me 2, so my fleet size is 3, but right now, it can be whatever it wants to be.
I'm just going to activate this empty system here and move this destroyer into it with a prior deal to not get shut up by that Hell Titan or by Armand's PDS. I'm going to explore this Frontier token. And in the Frontier deck, I get Derelict Vessel. Draw 1 secret objective. Well, could be nice. Let's see what we get.
At the start of the Nazroka turn, I will activate this system and move some ships in for an attack.
As he moves in and activates the system, as he's moving these ships in, I get 2 things. 1, my Void Watch tech is going to trigger, so he has to give me a promissory note, and due to my commander, I get to remove this command token from the board. Beginning of the combat, not looking great for me, but let's see if I can get a hit with my Anti-Fighter Barrage. Rolling 2 dice, hitting on a 9. No hits.
Alright, so the Nazroka mechs have this ability where if they're in the space area at the start of a space combat, they actually are treated as ships. They also get an extra die each per the flagship, so I'll be starting by rolling 6 dice on 8s. That is
1, 2, 3, 4 hits.
4 hits.
It's not looking great for my destroyer. I was going to declare a retreat, but yeah, didn't think he was going to survive. Let's see if he can go down swinging, though. That's a hit.
Okay, I will take it on my fighter. Alright, with that combat, I will reveal the secret objective that I am scoring. It is Unveil Flagship. Win a space combat in a system that contains your flagship. I cannot score this objective if my flagship is destroyed in the combat. Thankfully, it just barely survived.
Really survived.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Barely survived. Barely survived, huh? Alright, buddy. Sure. Blow up my destroyer. Blow up my guys just chilling in space. SMH my head.
All right, for my turn, I'm going to be activating the Fracture. And I'm going to move a single dread into the system. At the end of movement, I will space cannon, and we'll find out if there needs to be a combat. Probably not.
In addition, because you moved a ship into a system that contains one of my units, you're going to need to give me a promissory note with Void Watch.
Yeah. All right, so this is for Space Cannon. You can't see it in this shot, but there are 4 Hell Titans in range.
I got it. My poor destroyers are getting demolished right now. This is war crimes.
I'm going to activate my sling relay technology, and I'm going to produce a destroyer in the system.
Just like what Armand just did, I'm going to use my sling relay tech to build a ship in one of my space docks that is going to be the space dock on Mechatol Rex.
Alrighty, I will be performing warfare this turn, so I'm going to do a tactical action without putting a command token anywhere. I'm going to activate the system in the fracture, and I'm essentially just going to be doing this so I can build a bunch of units. Does anyone else want to use the secondary of warfare?
Everybody will be, and as the Mahakt, I'm going to be using my agent to take the token off of Lemox in order to use it that way.
So normally my production limit is only 3, so I'm going to have to use a war machine. It says when one or more of my units use production, I apply +4 to the total production value of those units, and reduce the combined cost of the produced units by 1. And what's even more is the fact that I'm going to use AI development algorithm secondary ability, which says when one or more of my units use production, I may exhaust this card to reduce the combined cost of the produced units by the number of unit upgrade technology I own. Currently I own 3, so it'll also get reduced by an additional 3.
Now, Mahakt, I don't have any readied planets or any trade goods, but I do have a war machine of my own, so I'll be using that.
All right, I didn't make note of this, but I'm saying it right now. I did put 1 token into my fleet pool, just so I don't have to destroy most of the stuff I just built at the end of the round. My hero lets me have everything for the end of the round. I can score points and everything, great. But yeah, I just wanted to be a little safe and not lose everything. So, hey, now that we got everything, come sail away with me to Styx.
Wasn't exactly a fan of Lodor getting taken from me last time, and now that he's moved out and locked a bunch of his boys down, I think I'm gonna go take it back. Sure, I'll be leaving Grawl undefended, but hey, I got what I needed from it. Gonna move this Dread in infantry, and we'll start with a bombard.
Hold on. I have space cannon, but if you give me a trade good, I won't shoot.
Nah, take the shot if you want to.
Okay.
Alright, in the craziest shot I've seen from a PDS going through the wormhole, Hunter did have a Hell Titan that landed a shot on me, but I just sustained damage on the Dread. Right now, we're gonna see if I end this battle before it begins with a bombardment, hitting on a 5. That's what we need. It'll deal 2 hits. Alright, I'll take Lodor back. And the last thing I'm gonna do this turn is I'm gonna use the Acropolis from Emilpar to ready Thunder's Edge. Last thing I'm gonna do is I got this handy dandy Void Tether token that I'm just gonna put here, just in case someone tries to come through the wormhole.
As the Nazrok Alliance, I will use my JR extra agent relic. It says action exhaust this agent and choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources to place a structure on a planet they control. If they do not, they gain 1 trade good. I'm going to exhaust it, choose myself, and gain a trade good. At the end of my turn, I will also exhaust Hope's End's legendary plan ability, which says you may exhaust this card at the end of your turn to place 1 mech from your reinforcements on any planet you control, or draw an action card. So I will draw an action card.
All right, for the Titan's turn, I'm going to be playing Geoform, which is the Titan's hero, which is going to allow me to refresh my home system of Elysium, and it's going to give it +3 resources, +3 influence, and +3 space cannon shots.
Oh, progenitor, it is time you slept no longer. Awaken and guide us.
All right, I'm going to use the Mining Initiative card, and I'm going to do it on Ikatana, so we're going to gain 4 trade goods, because that's its resource value.
For the Mahakt's turn, I am going to use Bolts of the Air on the newly exhausted Sling Relay technology, purging it in order to draw a relic. This relic is the Silver Flame.
Yeah!
I wanted that.
Get you out of here.
You would've got
Get a part of X. It's time.
It's time, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Roll it now. Don't wait. Go now.
Damn it. Dude, I actually really wanted that. Damn it.
The Silver Flame may be exchanged as part of a transaction. Additionally, as an action, I can roll a die and purge this card. If the result is a 10, gain a victory point. Otherwise, purge your home system, all units in it, and I cannot score public objectives. And we would put the Fracture into play if it was not already. It is, but this is my chance, especially with the Heart of Ix relic, to do some victory point scoring. Yes! The Silver Flame! Okay, it's not actually a very good relic, but it's super thematic. Having Silver Flame and Heart of Ix, those are both things the Mahact in the lore created on their home planet back millennia ago when they used to rule the galaxy. So having them in the palms of my hand is only fitting.
All right, I've been waiting and sitting on this for quite a while, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to activate the Watchtower, and I'm just going to pay my boy Hunter a visit. We're just going to see what's up. I'm going to move the 2 destroyers from my home system over there. I have gravity drive, and I have light wave deflectors, so I'm going to go through this beta wormhole, and boom, boom, we're going to have a little party, and we're going to start off, if there's no action cards, with Anti-Fighter Barrage.
Bradley, go for it.
All right, so we're gonna roll 6 die for the Anti-Fighter Barrage, 3 each. They hit on 6s. We're gonna see if any of these guys are sleeper cells that Hunter planted in my ranks, but I think we have pretty good odds of hitting it this time.
That all makes sense, yeah.
Okay, I see only 3 hits. 3 hits. So, okay, I don't think there's anything to intervene that.
Hit.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you suck.
Okay, I hit on 8s. Oh, I hit 1.
1 on a 6. No hit.
Oh. Hit.
That's a hit. I'll Tellurian that. So we'll go again because I want to keep the Watchtower.
Well, I'll re-roll
Adam,
it.
please,
Please,
Adam, please.
Shit. Come on.
1 on a 6. No hit.
Oh my gosh.
That's a hit. Yes, I'm dead.
Hey, bro. Better luck next time. This is what us pros call a skill issue.
Alrighty, and because I finished off the last of a player's fighters in the active system during the Anti-Fighter Barrage set, I will score my action phase secret objective that everyone knew about.
As the Empyrean, I think it's timely time we do a little bit more consolidation around the home system. So I'm going to be activating the Void, moving some ships into there, in addition to be building a lot of ships, so I can get a nice suitable fleet going for the Razor Fleet objective. So, in addition to using a war machine to help this production, I moved a carrier and my flagship from these 2 systems, as well as producing a dreadnought, 4 infantry, and 4 fighters. So I've got a pretty meaty stack at home.
As the Nazroka, I will activate this system. I will first explore Lazo Rex. I will produce. And at the end of my turn, I will use my agent to explore Cormand. I got a Cultural Relic Fragment from Lazo Rex. In Cormand, I will use my Distant Sun's ability to draw 2 with the mech. I will use a Hazardous Relic Fragment. Alright, I think it's best to just keep it easy, score the 5 ships. I'm going to try to just build a lot of stuff, get really juiced up and ready for the next round, and hopefully I can get the 2-pointer that comes out.
Alright, on the Titan's turn, I'm going to be activating Cocytus. I'll send 1 Saturn Engine 2 with 2 fighters. A second will come with this mech and this mech. And then the last one will come with these 2 infantry. Okay, it's beginning of combat. I'm gonna roll for my Saturn Engine 2s. This is 3 on a 6, 1 hit. And then I'm gonna roll for my fighters, 2 on an 8, no hit. All right, so I got 1 hit total.
All right, I'll be representing the neutral units, my cruisers. I've got 2 of them, and they hit on 6s. That is 2 hits right there.
Sustain.
And 1 hit, kill the cruiser.
All right. 3 on a 6. That's a hit. And then 2 on an 8. No hit.
All right, well, the cruiser's going down, but let's see if he can get 1 more hit. As a 5, that will miss.
All right. And I will demonstrate my power. I now score demonstrate. Have 3 or more non-fighter ships in the active system at the end of a space combat. You can score that on the neutral units. 2 mechs, 2 infantry. So the combat, this is the mechs, 2 on a 6. That's 2 hits because I have X89 and then 1 on an 8. No hit.
All right, both of these infantry are dying. Let's see if they can deal some damage before they go out. Both of them are hitting on 8s. That is 2 hits.
Nice. Sustain. And these are dead. I will draw a relic. All right, and for taking control of Cocytus, I will now draw my relic. My relic is Dynamis Core. This relic reads, while this card is in play, your commodity value is increased by 2, and as an action, I can gain trade goods equal to your commodity value then purge this card. It's pretty neat.
Alrighty, so I'm going to activate this system here, which will activate both mine and Hunter's Mage and Defense grid.
Beautiful.
So we'll get some more dudes on here. I'm gonna move these into the system through slightly different ways, but I will have to roll for the Dreadnought on the Gravity Rift. Alright, so on a 1 through 3, this Dreadnought will blow up. It's fine.
As Mahakt, before I take my action, I am going to make a transaction with the Nazroka player. He wants a cultural relic fragment for 2 trade goods.
And I'm going to interrupt that transaction as the Titans player to play Lie in Wait. So I'm going to take a look at both of their hands of action cards and take 1 action card from their hand.
All right, with Hunter's Lie in Wait, he did take a Strategize out of my hand, which honestly is fair. I've used multiple already, and using another one would be very overkill because I have yet another one on the Garbosia Legendary Planet ability, which is too much strategizing. It's too much. Going to activate the Mirage system. I'm going to bring a Dreadnought and a single mech, and I'm going to land that on Mirage.
Interesting. To be honest, I think Ethan's actually just trying to get 2 birds with 1 stone here. I think he's stalling, but he also probably thinks I'm going to those cultural planets, which makes sense because it's a secret objective that he can see, but I don't have enough stuff to bring into all those planets to get it, so I think he's just kind of wasting that.
All right, and now the moment you have all been waiting for. I'm not going for your home system. I'm going for Styx, baby. I'm going for Styx. So I'm gonna move everything over there onto Styx, and we're gonna show down.
Yes, finally, Adam's going to Styx. I've been waiting so long to see him take it, because it also means he can't come after me with that fleet.
It is time. So we would first do anti-fighter barrage, but they have no fighters here. So we'll just start rolling all the units. I am going to start off by using, again, my agent, allowing me to roll an additional die. I will do that for my War Sun, and I will also have the ability of my breakthrough, which is grab leash maneuvers, which will allow me to get 1, 2, 3, 4, so +4 to the die roll of whatever. I'll make it my War Sun, so now they hit on anything. And I will be rolling 3 die for them, which in this case will be guaranteed. So that's 3 hits. Then we can go to my flagship, which is 2 on a 5. That is 1 hit. We'll do my Dreadnought. That's a hit. And then we have 4 destroyers, which all hit on 8s. That is 1 more hit.
Well, Adam completely obliterated the neutral fleet, but let's see if they can kind of take their pound of flesh, as it were. So we got 2 Dreadnoughts here, both of them hitting on 5s. That is 1 hit. Then we've got the last little destroyer here. Let's see if he can go down swinging, hitting on an 8. It's not going to do it. So 1 hit to you, Adam, and you utterly obliterate 2 Dreads and the destroyer.
So I will put the hit on my flagship, and I will use my commander for the first time this game, which is just a passive saying after one of my units uses sustained damage, I gain trade good, so I'll get 1 trade good. All right, so I have plasma scoring, which means I'll get 1 extra bombardment roll on my War Sun. So here it'll be 4 hitting on 3s. So that is 3 hits, which is enough to completely annihilate these guys. Styx now belongs to its rightful owner.
So I get the planet Styx, which also comes with a Song Like Marrow, which is its legendary planet ability, which just says when you gain it, gain a victory point. When you lose it, lose a victory point.
Okay, the Shard of the Throne would have been really sweet, but admittedly, they would have just come to my home system and taken it from me anyway, so it probably would have been too big of a target on my back. So I'm not complaining about this at all, especially since I just said I wanted the one that has 5 Dreadnoughts to get a point. Dude, that's so easy for me. I'm getting that next round for sure. If there's a full next round, I guess.
Adam getting to Styx is really bad for me in my current position. The only way that I was going to win this game was with Styx and another bonus point that now, sadly, I will not be getting for sure.
And then, for the big moment that I have been waiting for this entire game, what will I get as the relic? I am getting the Obsidian. Ooh. When you gain this card, draw a secret, and I can have an additional scored or unscored. Fortunately, it's visible, but I'm not complaining because I'm not a big fan of the one I currently have unscored. All right, if this is the mechanized one again, oh my god. Oh, I have 5 dreadnoughts on the game board. That's very doable. That's very doable. A little less when you guys know about it, but.
Empyrean, I'm gonna keep it simple. I've got a pretty strong home system. I'm probably gonna be scoring that raise of fleet objective that I'm looking for. I think I just consolidate, get ready for round 5. I'm gonna pass.
For the Nazroka, I will take this hazardous relic fragment and purge it for a command token.
For the Titan's turn, I'm just going to be activating at home and building with Elysium, which is now 7 resources. So I'll spend 7 resources to place 2 Saturn engines, 1 mech, 2 infantry, and Mage and Defense Grid will give me an additional infantry when I activate. I'm doing a transaction with Empyrean. I'm giving 1 promissory note for 1 promissory note.
Alrighty, we're just going to use another action card. I'm going to play Rise of a Messiah. I'm going to place an infantry for my reinforcements on each planet I control. I control 3 planets.
Nice. All right, as the Mahakt, I am just going to activate my home system and build up a little bit more of my fleet at home.
Alright, so I will be using an action card, Fighter Conscription. As an action, I place a fighter from my reinforcements into each system that contains 1 or more of my space docks or ships that have capacity value. They cannot be placed in systems that contain other players' ships. So currently, that would be Styx, this system, and then my home system, as well as this Dreadnought. I cannot put it in Ellis because there is a destroyer there from Ethan, and I cannot put it at Centauri because I don't have anything there. And I can't remember if I should in Destrix, but I should be able to put it on a Destrix as well.
Yeah.
As an Nazroka, I'm going to be purging 2 cultural relic fragments to draw a relic. The Shard of the Throne.
Oh!
Hooray! This card says, when you gain this card, I gain a victory point. When I lose this card, I lose a victory point. When a player gains control of a legendary planet I control or a planet you control in your home system, that player gains this card.
Hey, speaking of which, this is gonna start an all-out war, and I'm here for it.
What did I say? I didn't want Nate to score another point because I think he's going to pull something up. And what happens? He gets Shard of the Throne.
Normally, this is not a great thing to have because someone will take it, but it does put me up. If I'm lucky, I can draw another one, maybe the Crown of Amphidia to go with the Tomb of Amphidia, which would also give me a point. If I can make things work, I can maybe close out this round with 10 points. I did produce in my home system with Warfare, and those ships aren't locked down, so I actually do kind of have a lot of stuff that could get on the board and maybe keep things safe. We'll see.
Finally, some interesting relics. With Shard of the Throne being pulled, it's going to be very difficult for everybody to hold Shard of the Throne. Because what happens is, if you lose Mechatol Rex or any legendary planet, then you lose Shard of the Throne, and there are 8 legendary planets. No, 9 legendary planets on this board. Holy cow.
I'm feeling real validated for that extreme duress play. I'll tell you that.
My turn is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to purge Dynamis Core for 4 trade goods.
I've got a feeling this is going to be my last chance to use it, so I'm actually going to use the action of Blood Pact to put it face up in my play area. Woo! So when me and the Empyrean player Isaac cast votes for the same outcome during this agenda phase, we cast 4 additional votes for that outcome.
Alright, as Mahakt, for my action, I am actually going to change my plans a little bit, but good thing that I have my commander ability, because it allows me to be flexible. I'm going to activate this Mirage system where I already have a command token, and I'm going to then remove both of them and end my turn.
Alright, so I will be passing, and of course I will again be using Industrix to get a unit of a unit tech that I have, and of course I have another War Sun, so I will for sure be putting it down, and I'll just be putting it in my home system.
As the Nazroka, I will be purging my hero. It says, action, gain 1 relic and perform the secondary ability of up to 2 readied or unchosen strategy cards. During this action, spend command tokens from my reinforcements instead of my strategy pool. Then purge this card.
Hesh, this is Crit. Can we go back and check our work, please? It seems to me that the team may have missed something.
The NRI hero is not as good the longer you play it because you want to get some strategy cards available to make use of it. I should have played it for probably my first action of the round, just give me some more options. A lot of people already used their strategy cards early on, and now we're left with basically nothing. Right now, I'm just gonna use it as a Hail Mary to hope for a really good relic and see what I get.
Guys, can we please stop drawing relics? If someone gets Bouquet of Latvinia, I have so much trauma from that, man. I want to be the speaker, please.
I got the Triad. This card can be rated and spent as if it were a planet card. Its resource and influence values are equal to 3 plus the number of different types of relic fragments you own. Shoot. I was really hoping for the Crown of Infidia to get an extra point, since I could have taken that away from Hunter and closed out the round at 10 points probably. But I got the Triad. It's nice to have resources, but I'm already swimming in them with following, trade, and diplomacy. I guess this is just not my pull. For the secondaries of strategy cards, there are only 2 options, diplomacy and trade. Not going to be much value, but I guess that's what I'm doing.
So I'm going to play Black Market Forgery, which I got from Empyrean. I'll hand it back to Nazroka. There you are. I'm going to purge these 2 industrial relic fragments, and we will see what relic I will get. Let's take a look. I'm looking for Book or I'm looking for Tomb. It's neither. It's Light Rail Ordnance. That I have 1 space dock, so cool. Your space docks gain Space Cannon 5 times 2. You may use your space docks Space Cannon against ships that are adjacent to their systems. So this space dock here can shoot here.
This is a little bit of a scary play, but I do want the Shard of the Throne, so I'm going to activate the Wormhole Nexus, and we are going to bring in ships and infantry from here, and we're going through the Grav Rift wormhole, so we're gonna have to roll. Alright, so this Dreadnought is my only hope here, not only because it's the only thing with the capacity that can move, but it also has bombardment. The thing is, I'm going through a gravity rift, which means I have to roll, and on a 1 through 3, this Dreadnought blows up through the gravity rift, and I get nothing. Let's see it.
10.
That's a 10. Okay, so now we're going to do bombardment. My Dreadnought will hit on a 5, and because I have an X89, it'll hit twice. Let's hope we hit. That's a double hit on bombardment.
I will sustain damage on the mech and remove an infantry.
Alright, so I have infantry 2, which means I'm going to hit on a 7, and I'm only rolling 1 dice. So let's see it. I do not hit.
Alright, my mechs as the Nazroka get to roll 2 dice. I also have X89, not that it matters, but I get to produce a lot of hits if I get it. No hits.
Alright, we get another try. Let's roll a 7 or higher. That's another 5.
Rolling 2 more dice as Nazroka. And there it is, 4 hits.
Alrighty, and after that absolute fail of an attempt, Isaac, the Empyrean player, and I, the Deep Rot player, have decided to do a support for the throne swap to hopefully get a win on the next round, since we're going to be speaker and second pick.
Boo! Boo! Support swap! Boo! Boo!
Pleasure doing business with you. If I want anyone ruling the galaxy, it's the Peaceful Fish.
So, I made a deal to swap support for the thrones with Isaac, because I'm the speaker and then he's right after me. We'll both get first and second pick for round 5. Little does he know, with this secret objective, I might be able to win in round 4 agenda phase. How cool would that be?
This is going to be close.
Alright, since I have fleet logs, I'm going to do another action, and I'm going to play the action card Uprising. I'm going to exhaust Hope's End that just got readied from the Diplomacy secondary, and I'm going to get 4 trade goods since that is now its resource value.
Well, at least Armand got something out of me using my hero and got some trade goods, which I could have gotten some value.
As a Mahawk turn, I'm going to activate Malice. I'm going to move in a few different ships from these systems through the beta wormhole over to Malice here. Okay, this is my shot. Basically, I need to not lose any ships because I still need the 5-ship public objective, and I need to kill something with bombardment in order to get my secret objective by killing the last thing with bombardment. So, if I can do this, it'll be a public objective, a secret objective, and Shard of the Throne being taken for a 3-point swing. I need at least a couple of those to go right to still be in the running. So as soon as I move in, there is a Hell Titan in another wormhole shooting a space cannon shot.
It's a hit.
It is a hit. Sustaining on Dread.
No direct hit.
All right, going into the combat against Arman, I have 4 hitting on a 9 with my 3 destroyers and a carrier. Those are no hits. And I also have 1 hitting on a 5. That is a single hit from the Dreadnought.
Alright, and then I have 1 hitting on a 5 as well. So that is a hit from my Dreadnought.
Okay, removing a destroyer.
And I will sustain damage. And I get a trade good for the first time because I have Adam's Barony Alliance.
Alright, moving into the second round of combat, rolling 3 on 9s. That is no hits, and a 1 on a 5. That is no hits.
Alright, 1 on a 5 again. That is a 4. You want to use a hard X?
You know, make it interesting.
Alright, re-rolling that exact thing. 3 on 9s. That is 1 hit. And 1 on a 5. That is just 1 hit total.
Alright, and then 1 on a 5. One last time. Another 4! So I do have the war funding promissory note from Adam, which says, after you and your opponent roll dice during space combat, I may re-roll all of my opponent's dice. I may re-roll any number of my dice. Then I return this back to the Letnev player. So I think we should do both, since he got a hit, and I did not.
Alright, re-rolling for 9s. That is 1 hit. And then rolling for the 5. So that is just 1 hit total.
Alright. So that doesn't really change, but hopefully mine will. That is another hit.
Okay, the destroyer goes down.
And so does my Dreadnought.
So I'm really hoping in this moment that Ethan can get Shard, because if Ethan takes Shard, then I take Garbosia and get Shard myself. If that happens, Ethan will have to decide between taking Shard back or and losing support, or just letting me keep it. And honestly, I'm not even sure that anyone is going to have the time and energy to take Shard from me in such a way as to prevent me from taking it back early next round. So I'm excited about that potential. All I'm really trying to do at the end of the day, I'm not saying I'm going to keep Shard with the current game state, but all I'm really trying to do is have Shard be 2 systems away from my home system for staging purposes. Also, Mage and Defense Grid could end up helping me completely through all of this, which would be very exciting.
And before there's actual invasion, I'm going to roll a single bombardment die from my Dreadnought, which will hit on a 5. Okay, alright. I lost a couple of ships, but I still do get my bombardment roll. And I'm really hoping that this works out. That is not a hit. Alright, so actual invasion will occur now. And my mech will roll and hit on a 6. That is not a hit.
And then the Nazroka will roll 2 dice, and then XE9 Material Weapon gives me double hits if I get it. I got 2 hits, keeping the planet, and stopping Ethan from taking Malice and Shard of the Throne.
Oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
Oh my god, that NRA mech is a legend! I can't believe it survived all that. To be fair, it might be a little bit my fault, because I did not realize that I probably should have brought more ships in to deter Ethan from going for the Shard of the Throne. But man, it didn't end up mattering. That mech is a legend, for sure.
Those NRA mechs are doing their job and hitting like trucks. Give that man a promotion.
Well, I think there goes my game.
Alright, for the Nazroka Alliance's turn, I'm going to be making 2 transactions. The first is with the Empyrean. He is going to be giving me a single of his 2 relic fragments in exchange for 2 trade goods, which I have to use immediately to purge for a command token, which I will do. I'll then be making a second transaction with the Titans player. I will be giving him my alliance in exchange for if he happens to explore and find any relic fragments, then they are going to be going to me.
So I activate Garbosia. Anything on activation?
On activation, forward supply base. I'm going to gain 3 trade goods, and then I will have Adam gain a trade good.
I'm going to move on to movement now. So this Saturn Engine 2 moves from Semlor 1, picks up this mech 2. Or wait, no, sorry. 1, 2, 3. That's what the movement is. Sorry if that was confusing. And then that's my final movement. At the end of movement, I will fire Space Cannon.
All right, rolling for your single Space Cannon from afar.
Hit.
It is a hit.
I'll roll 1 on a 6. Hit.
And I am rolling 1 on a 7 as a miss.
And I take control of Garbosia. When I take control of Garbosia, I explore because of Nazroka's alliance, and if this is a fragment, I've agreed to give it to Nazroka. Let's see what it is. It is Rich World. Bummer. I will also place a sleeper token on Garbosia.
Alrighty, Deep Rush is going to keep playing the action cards they've had in their hand. I'm actually going to play Impersonation. I'm going to spend 3 influence to draw a secret objective. Hopefully it's something good. Okay, so I played Impersonation here just in case there was maybe an action phase secret I could score, and then I'd win at the end of this round instead of in the agenda phase. But it was Occupy the Seat of the Empire, which means I'd have to be on Mechatal Rex and have enough ships. And Ethan's there now. With my token in his fleet pool, it's just not happening.
At the beginning of my turn, that infantry that died last time did get me a trade good, and it's going to be placed back on my home system because of Crimson Legionnaire 2. Now, I'm going to activate with my last tactical action with Semlor, and I am going to bring in this Dreadnought along to it, along with an infantry that it picks up along the way. All right, first of all, when I move in, he's going to activate the Hell Titans Space Cannon.
No hit.
No hit. And now Bombardment from my Dreadnought hits on a 5. That is a 7. That is a hit. That makes an example of his world, destroying the last of a player's ground forces on a planet during the bombardment step. I do land on Semlor, taking it, and using integrated economy, I am going to build a mech onto Semlor.
Okay, Ethan, that was the second time, maybe third time, that you won a combat against me, and you did not put one of my tokens in your fleet pool. Bad. Bad, bad, okay? This is me talking to you. I'm talking to you right now, Ethan. The editor, Ethan. You gotta put the token in the fleet pool, okay? You gotta.
Unfortunately, that activation of the Semlor system did make me lose the Titans of Ol's support for the throne and give it back to Hunter. Hopefully, this pays off a little bit in a cool way, but that is unfortunate because I would have rather attacked anybody else.
Wait a minute. Ethan just said that this was his best option, and he didn't go to Centuria? That was open for bombardment. What does that mean?
As the Nazroka Alliance, I will do the same thing as last turn. I will pay the Imperium player 2 trade goods for a relic fragment, which I have to immediately play and purge for a command token.
All right, on the Titan's turn, I will pass. I have 2 when I pass abilities. The first one is going to be legendary Faunus Maxis Central Control, or whatever it is. And I'll use that to take control of Growl, Sorry Empyrean. Whenever I do that, I explore and I get local fabricators. I may gain a commodity or spend 1 to place a mech. Sadly, all of my mechs are on the board already, so I will just gain a commodity. That's it.
Scroll for you.
Thank you so much. And then for Garbosia, I will exhaust it to fetch War Machine from the discard pile. So that has been added to the Dock and Pick salvage yard.
Alrighty, I'm going to use the last command token in my tactic pool, and I'm just going to beef up my home system.
As a Mahact, unfortunately, I am going to give up my use of Silver Flame this round, and I am going to pass.
As the Nazroka, I'm going to do a technical maneuver. I'm going to activate Herculord. I can, because I'm activating it at the start of my turn, Scanlink Drone Network allows me to draw a industrial card. I can gain 2 commodities. Woohoo. I will then move. The movement set happens. The infantry goes into orbit. This means that the Herculor planet is now owned by Armand. I'm then going to land the infantry back on the planet, and Armand.
We could coexist. I just wanted it for a little bit.
All right. So now that I've taken control of it, with my commander, I get to explore and ready it. So I will get to explore it again. Functioning base, I can spend a commodity or a trade good for an action card. I think I will do that with the commodities I just gained. I heard about this move from Space Cat's Peace Turtles podcast, where you can do this double explore between NRA and the Deep Rot if like a very specific circumstance comes into play. I was hoping to get some good stuff. Fortunately, Armand was able to cut me a deal and not use integrated economy when he took control of the planet. Otherwise, this would have been a flub.
Alrighty, I think people have been using X89 more than enough, so I'm just gonna make it so no one has it. We're gonna finally use Wave Function Collapse, the Deep Rot hero. I'm gonna purge it, and I'm gonna purge X89, and it's gonna purge it for everyone. Everyone that loses it will also be able to research another technology. So they're not quite losing everything, but they'll do.
We gave you access to the archives, and you respond with ignorance? Your access is being revoked.
Alright, so I felt a bit pressured to use my hero. It's fine here. It's cool. I do get to wipe X89 from everyone, because 5 people had it, which was crazy. I wonder who's giving them all that tech. Definitely not me. Alright, so now that we've all purged our X89, we'll let you know what we replaced it with. I'm going to replace mine with Neural Motivators. Let's draw some more action cards.
Mahakt is also going to replace with Neural Motivator.
Empyrean's got 5 action cards in hand. I want 7. I'm also getting Neural Motivator.
Titans is going to exhaust AI development algorithm, which they had wasted so far in order to pick up Dreadnought 2.
Nazroka is going to get Transit Diodes. As the Nazroka, at the start of my turn, I will play Transit Diodes, the tech I just got. It says you may exhaust this card at the start of your turn during the action phase to remove up to 4 of your ground forces from the game board and place them on 1 or more planets you control. I moved a couple mechs from these systems over here and a couple infantry onto Malice to beef it up. And then I will pass for the round.
At the beginning of the status phase, both Entropic Scars do have our units in them, but both of us have both of our unit techs, so there's no need for either of us to activate those.
Deep Rot's Radical Advancement is a May ability, so I will not be choosing to use that, but I still have 5 ocean cards, so from the mining faction technology, I will be getting 5 trade goods.
Titans will score Develop Weaponry and move up to 8. No secrets, because I've already scored all of them.
Alright, Deep Rot Scholar is going to score Raise a Fleet. I have 5 or more non-fighter ships, and on 2 systems, actually. And then I will also score Master the Laws of Physics. I own 4 technologies of the same color. I actually have 4 green and 4 blue. So I'll score that.
And then as the Mahakt, I did miss out on the Raise a Fleet public objective, but I do have Mechanize the Military's secret objective, have 1 mech on each of 4 planets, which is the case on Mirage, Megatol, Semlor, and my home planet of Ix.
Alright, I have plenty of ships over on Styx, so I will be getting 5 or more ships, non-fighter ships in a system, and obviously no secret objectives at the moment.
Lots of people be raising fleets, and the Empyrean is one of them. I'll be scoring Raise a Fleet.
As the Nazroka, I'll be scoring Raise a Fleet by having 5 or more non-fighter ships in a system, which is my home system.
Alright, now that everybody has scored, we're going to reveal the first Stage 2 public objective, which is Found a Golden Age. Spend 16 resources.
Alright, I think Armand can score that if it gets to his turn, and I kind of don't want him to win immediately on turn 1, so I will be burning Stellar Converter in order to change that objective to a different Stage 2 by using Mirror Loop. I can purge any relic I own.
We'll remove that, and I'm going to reveal a random Stage 2 public objective.
Show Stage 2.
It is Galvanize the People. Spend a total of 6 tokens from your tactic and or strategy pools.
Well, Armand can just shift some more tokens around and then also score that anyway. So once again, I'm actually going to purge Nano Forge, since I still own it as a relic. Sure, I'll be losing a pretty nice planet, but I want to cycle that out and try another stage 2 objective.
That is going to be achieve supremacy. Have your flagship or war sun in another player's home system or Mechatol Rex.
I don't think Armand can score this as easily, so I'm going to say it sticks.
Flagship in the Mechatol system? Ether Stream and Gravity Drive gets the Dynamo into the Mechatol system. If I win that fight, if I take mechs from Ethan, which he doesn't have much, that's a win. And my Watchers can cancel any sabotages. I'm close here. I just need to get through agenda phase, and I can do it.
For the rest of the status phase, we'll clean up the board, draw action cards, and we'll see you in probably the final agenda phase.
Alrighty, why don't we, before I pull the first agenda card, go through and say our influence totals.
Starting with me, I got 14.
15.
11.
13.
Also 11.
14.
Even after the ancient burial sites, you have 14?
That's pretty good.
Dang.
Honestly, pretty close together totals of votes.
Yeah.
So, let's get into it. Our first agenda, and now I know this one, and the audience knows I know this one because I put it on top, is covert legislation. When this agenda is revealed, the speaker draws the next card in the agenda deck, but does not reveal it to the other players. Instead, the speaker reads the eligible outcomes aloud. For example, for, against, elect player, whatever it may be. The other players then vote for these outcomes as if they were the outcomes of this agenda without knowing their effects. Good. Alrighty. It is an elect planet.
Oh.
Alright, it's a little bit lame that covert legislation went right into an elect planet because there's only so many options for elect planet. If it was a for or against or elect player, it would have been a little more interesting, but hidden agenda still does make this all more interesting than it was before, so I appreciate playing with this galactic event.
Oh my god, no way, it's elect planet, it's happening. I have both Hunter's and Adam's political secrets, and I feel like I should just use them before I lose them. So, I have given back Hunter's and Adam's political secret, which means they are not allowed to vote on this agenda.
Insider information. After an agenda is revealed, look at the top 3 cards of the agenda deck.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Alrighty, now that is all done, we will write our votes down, and I'll tally up the votes and let you guys know what it is.
I'm going to make you vote at least 1 vote on Ikatana.
Okay. And if I don't, I lose a fleet?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to try to play bribery.
Incredible.
Is this to get a point?
Incredible.
So I'm going to spend any number of trade goods. For each trade good spent, I cast an additional vote for what I voted for.
So real quick, I know I gave a brief explanation on the Watcher, my mech, but essentially, if it is in a system that is in or adjacent to a system that contains another player's units, and that player plays an action card, I can remove that Watcher from the board to cancel that action card, which is what I'm doing to Armand's bribery. And he's got a boy in Thunder's Edge, so.
Alrighty, the votes have come through, and there was 1 vote for Ikatana, 3 votes for Centauri, and 12 votes for Cormund. Man, I kind of played it safe there. I wanted to do more, but even if I did everything, it wouldn't matter. Nate had it all calculated out to where I couldn't outvote him. I really wish I had his political secret.
So Cormund wins.
Cormund wins.
What's the agenda?
Compensated disarmament. Destroy each ground force on the elected planet. For each unit that was destroyed, the player who controls that planet gains a trade good.
That was close. When Armand could only read what the type of agenda was, and I couldn't remember what was in the agenda deck, I almost just went for Ikatana since that's what Ethan wanted. Then I figured, hey, maybe I'll vote for one of my planets since, maybe it gives me a point or something. I don't know what's in the agenda deck.
All right. The next agenda, so Agenda 2 for round 4, is Executive Sanctions. This is a law. 4. Each player can have a maximum of 3 action cards in their hand. Against, each player discards 1 random action card from their hand.
I got a veto, and it's been sitting in my hand for quite a long time. And I think I like my action cards enough to not want to randomly discard 1 or go down to 3. So I don't want to risk it. Let's look at something else.
Sounds good. So no executive sanctions is going away, and we're going to look at one more agenda. Okay. Adam vetoed the agenda. We have another chance. The new agenda is economic equality. It is a directive. 4. Each player returns all of their trade goods to the supply. Then each player gains 5 trade goods. Against, each player returns all of their trade goods to the supply. And it's not an elect planet or player agenda. That's fine, I'm still speaker. I'll grab leadership round 1 and hopefully get Shard of the Throne. That would put me to 10 points. Let's hope. So we will vote secretly, tally them up, and we'll get back to you with the results. Alrighty, we have the results, and the votes were 11 against and 53 for.
Money!
Money.
See you in the probably last strategy phase.
Let's go. Alright, round 5, Deep Rot Scholar. I'm the speaker. I'm going to take leadership.
Okay, no, actually, I am going to public disgrace that, which says when another player chooses a strategy card during the strategy phase, that player must choose a different strategy card instead, if able. So you're not going first, and you're not
sabotage
instantly...
though.
I'm going to do that. No way! Adam had that card? And I don't have a sabotage. I don't have anything to stop this. Oh, man. Okay. I can still take second. Alright, I don't have a sabotage card at all to do anything about that, so I suppose I'll take diplomacy instead.
All right, well, I kind of need to take this because might be my only shot at doing something in this game. I'll take leadership.
This is great. I actually feel pretty solid here. He has to take out Armand. So he's going to also lose his support for the throne, losing some points. This puts me in a good spot to maybe at least score a point or 2 off of Imperial. I can't go to get Ethan, but we'll see. I have a possible chance here. All I know is it's time for the Jester to dance.
Alright, I'm going to grab Imperial, maybe somehow get an extra point or 2 just to prove a point. Or maybe win.
And then I, as the Mahakt, I am just going to take politics because I like yellow.
As the Titans, I'm going to take construction because I like green.
As the Nazroka, I will take warfare.
And we will see you in the round 5 action phase. Going into round 5, I can't tell if Isaac is nervous or very confident because all of a sudden he's gotten really quiet and really focused. So either something very embarrassing or something very awesome is about to happen.
This is it. This is my game. I've been waiting for a while, and this is the best opportunity I can get. And thankfully, the Empyrean love watching for opportunities.
Okay. Time to run the table or go home. I'm going to be using, just calling it right now, Fleet Logistics, and I'm going to be exhausting Thunderous Edge Legendary Planet to be taking 3 actions this turn.
3 actions? All right now? Before I go?
First, I'm going to play a Strategize to use the secondary of Warfare to build at my home. I'm not going to be building much. I will be building 2 mechs.
All right, man. I just got the popcorn. Let the killing commence.
I will be activating the Mechatol Rex system. I've got a fleet pool of 6 now, so I'm going to be bringing a lot of boys to get this done.
Hey, hold up. You're not supposed to be going to Mechatol. You're supposed to be going to Armand's home system. You need to be obliterating the oceans.
Alright, 1 on a 6. Hit.
So I take that on my Dreadnought, but because of the Dynamo, whenever any of my units in this system use sustained damage, I can spend 2 influence to immediately repair that unit, and I'm going to do so. Starting off there are no destroyers in the system, so no anti-fighter barrage. Ethan, would you like to play any cards?
No, I do not have any action cards to play.
All right. Would you like to announce retreat?
Yeah.
All right.
For my 1 carrier hitting on a 9, that is a no. For my 2 fighters hitting on a 7, that is 2 no's.
All right. Starting off, I've got the Dynamo and my 3 Dreadnoughts, all of which hitting on 5s. That is 3 hits.
That kills everything of mine, and I don't have anything.
Before I commit ground units, I've got 3 Dreadnoughts, each of which are going to bombard, hitting on 5s. As 2 hits.
Alright, I sustain on my mech. It was face down, but it wasn't actually sustained. I'm going to sustain on my mech. I'm going to kill my infantry. Alright, I'm going to roll for my mech. Come on, boy, let's get a 6. Oh, I hate now, boy.
I will be rolling my 2 Watchers, also hitting on 6s. That is 1 hit.
Alright, that kills my mech, and you establish control on Mechatol Rex.
All right, I've taken Mechatol Rex, and I have been very kind this game, but I am, at heart, a big rat. I'm going to use my last action to play Overrule, and play it on the Imperial strategy card. We should do this in order. Does anyone like to sabotage?
Unfortunately, I do not.
All right, Ethan.
No, sir.
Hunter.
I have 1 to contribute to the cause.
I will
1 sabotage.
I will remove 1 Watcher from Mechatol Rex to cancel that sabotage.
Okay.
Nate.
Yeah, nope, I don't have it.
And Armand.
Wait, hold on.
If he had, he would have used it on the public disgrace.
With that, I will use the primary of the Imperial strategy card. If I can score any public objectives, I may. And I do. I'm going to score Achieve Supremacy because I have my flagship in the Mechatol Rex system. The second part of Imperial is I score 1 point if I control Mechatol Rex, which I do, giving me 3 points, taking me from 7 to 10. Woo!
Game's over.
Nice job. You're shaking, boy.
Let's go, dude! Yes, it's an overrule win. I'm a rat. What else am I gonna do? I'm absolutely going to take one of the most broken cards in the game and also bring along 4 of my mechs to just cancel out Zabos, the only counter to it.
Congrats to Isaac. Well done, dude. You deserve it. I was pretty happy that I got to 9 points. I feel good about how the game went. Would have loved to get to 10, but hey, this was a fun day. Happy to be here.
All right. Congratulations, Isaac. I'm glad you won. I was that close. I was so close, but I mean, that was an amazing play at the end. I gotta give you kudos there. Congratulations on the win.
Congratulations to Isaac or that rat on the Discord. If you want to chat with him, come to the Discord and congratulate him right after this. And if you want to check out more of this, watch the after reports that is YouTube member exclusive. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thank you for watching Galactic Report 4 on the Cardboard Crash Course. Pax Magnifica, Bellum Gloriosa.
Gotta love Overrule.
All right. Well, thanks, bud. See you later.